Hi, everybody. This is a pokercoaching.com study session. We are doing cash game. And what we're going to look at is all hands face up. We're going to look at every hand here in this group went to the river. And this is our Memorial Day edition in honor of the hands that did not go well. So I'll start. I'll narrate three of them, and you guys, we'll just go around the circle and you guys will get the idea. So, well, first thing we do is we look what should happen. It should go fold, 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 fold. Jack 9 can open. If he doesn't, Jack 8 suited should absolutely open for a raise, and Ace 4 suited should defend against both of them with a fair amount of 3-bets against either one of those positions. Now, what do we think will happen? I think that's what will happen. That makes sense. All right, there we go. There's the Jack 9 raising. He raises to 3 instead of 2.5. Jack 8 suited folds. That's good. Ace 4 suited can call here. Mostly should 3-bet, I think, even against the 3 big blind size. This particular combo, I suspect I will call.
I have a no calling there in that situation.
You don't call from the big blind there?
I don't see the point.
I think you can.
I think that Joey's gotten me onto this three better fold kick.
Yeah. So 3-better fold is the GTO solution in cash games with a drop or a big rake for every position except button, big blind, and small blind, depending on how you want to simplify your game. I think if you go big blind as 3-better fold as your overall strategy, I think you're going to be giving up. I think you're giving up a lot of EV there because there are so many hands that are good calls. I mean, you just look at I mean, let me look at here's GTO Wizard with the NL50 rake, and you just get a raise from hijack, and just look at this big blind here. There's just so many hands that you can't profitably re-raise. Crunch, 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 crunch. But that are, I mean, looking at the let's
Yeah,
there's
lots of call there. Like you can't re-raise jacks.
yeah. You look at the EV here, and there are a lot of hands here that I don't think play well as raises, but that they have real EV. It's a lot of EV there. So, but again, if you want to be unpleasant, you want to be unpleasant to play against, 3-better fold is a certain way to do it.
So so jacks are mainly call here.
But that's only in a strategy where you have calls. If you're playing 3-better fold, jacks are a perfect 3-bet.
Yeah.
It's jacks aren't just, it's not that jacks play better as a call on their own. They play better to protect this calling range here. Let's go back to
So you have to have some strong calling things.
exactly. Because
if you're gonna call with
yeah,
with 5-3 suited, you need
right.
to call with jacks. Is that what you're saying?
If this is your call, if you simplify this range where everything here is a raise, everything here is a bluff, and everything here is a call, which is not like the worst way to play the individual hands. If people figure that out, you are easy to play against.
Yeah, because you're gonna be fucked if you
you own these flops, you have nothing here, when you call, and you can be pushed off all your calls.
So you have to add jacks to your calling.
Yeah, they're protecting this. You don't do it with aces. I mean, it's not that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And jacks are high enough EV either way. They play well as a call. They play well. They just do well. Because if you were really playing for just the value of the hand and not trying to be deceptive at all, ace 5 suited would never be a raise.
Yeah.
I mean, ace 5 suited is good because it fits in. It's the perfect bluff to go with these, and it blocks them from having part of their 4-betting range. That's good. And even if you get called a 4-bet, you've got a suited ace that can make the wheel. But you'd rather, if that's what they were going to do to you, you'd just call it and just see if you hit it for cheap.
Yeah.
It's playing its deception within the range, I think.
Yeah. I like the king 4 suited.
Yeah. But this hand, this particular combo is to get my balance right. Here, I'm calling this one.
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing?
Hey, Larry.
Hi there.
I can check raise this easily. He bets small enough. I check raise it against his 9. Get called. Pick up equity. So I could check here and call a bet. I could also just continue betting. I bet big. He calls, and now I know my bluff is dead. And not only that, I pick up equity against other club draws. Betting the front door flush draw is a bad idea when it doesn't come in, because that's what I want him to have. The back door came in. He could have that. I don't block any of it. And I have a pair, so I can beat 7-8 now and think, well, I beat 7-8 before, so I can beat ace king, whatever. That,
Beat a
and then
3 now.
I can beat a 3. And there we,
That's
and
all
there
I
we go.
can do.
That's a
But I
pretty
certainly
thin
can't-
value bet from Dylan Forty.
yeah, but I certainly can't beat a 66-16. Maybe he's trying to get me off a better 9.
Huh.
Or even a pocket 10s.
Yeah.
Maybe that's his mind. He blocks the jack. He has some value sometimes when
I
he
like the
it's
way you played it.
love it. It's kind of mergy.
Yeah.
You know,
I like it.
if I decided to hero with ace king, if I decided to hero with 8-8, he beats those. So I think if I were him, I think I would just try to take the showdown with a 9, but that's what he does. All right. What should happen? Fold, 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 raise, 100%. Ace 7 suited, mixes folds. I expect him to call. Ace 3 should fold to my raise. What's gonna happen? Let's see, this guy with a 10-4, with a 16-13, he's not gonna play. This
Do you
guy with
think
an,
small blind can mix in some 3 bets here?
sure. I think Ace 7 is one of the less common ones of those. I haven't memorized that thing, but I'm just guessing that Ace 5 is like 100% and Ace 6 and Ace 7 are low. That you probably do Ace 5, then Ace 4, then Ace and Ace 9, and the 6 and 7 coming around last. We'll look at it.
I don't
Against
think
Yeah, I think
13-3
you get
is gonna
some
gonna
3 bets
bet.
from this region against a
13-3.
50% RFI from button.
Yeah, you absolutely do. You absolutely can 3-bet here. I just thought Ace 7 might be one of the later ones, but I expect that he's gonna call, just looking at his stat.
13-3.
Yeah, 15-3. It's only 8 hands though. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's see what happens now.
That's not
Okay,
significant.
folds
at all.
around to me. There's my raise. He calls, not a surprise. Let's just do a quick look. And in GTO Wizard, there are calls in the small blind. I'm not implementing them. And Ace 7 suited is definitely going to be in that range, you'd think, but it's not. There we go. 3-bet is best. It's got a sliver of call. And you see the Ace 6 is less often than the Ace 5, Ace 4. And Ace 7 is just good enough. Move me back a seat, and I think you're going to start. I think those are all going to start going out. Yeah. This is what I had in my head. But against the button, you can be much more aggressive than I was being. But he makes I won't say worst choice. I'll say he makes the least common choice. With his moving on back, we don't need to see it again. Okay. So there he does it. The Ace 3 should now definitely fold. This would be a really bad call from Ace 3 here. This is how bad it would be. Raise, call, really bad. And he doesn't
Way
make
off
it.
in left field.
All right. He flops it. I have 2 overs and 3 to a straight. I'll bet it. Oh no, I checked it. Now I have a legitimate straight draw. He bets. Definitely not going to fold now. Don't need to raise. And I cooler another 8 if the 6 comes. And he's got 103 big blinds and I've got 170. So some money could go in if he had an 8. If it doesn't come, he bets. Not gonna bluff.
Nope.
There we go. And my third hand here should go fold, 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 raise. Jack 9 offsuit, raise. Jack 8 suited, fold. Ace 4. Did we see this one already? No, it's just another Ace 4 suited. Ace 4 suited should defend, and it should defend against the button mostly by raising, but this particular combo is a call for me. Let's see if I call it or not. Wait, we played this one already. Sorry, that one was the one we played. Going up. Here's the one. Right, I hit wrong direction. So here we go. Fold, 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 post. This guy should go to 4.5. And me on the button was 6s against 4.5. I can call. I don't think I should 3-bet the 6s here because the pot's inflated. I should just fold.
You're kind of
and
a
I-
low stack there.
Yeah, I didn't reload it fast enough. It would
On
have
the
been
button, you want to be on the button. You want to button was where you want to reload, definitely, right?
Yeah, I would have. I probably lost the last hand and hadn't hit and just didn't. You can't reload on. You have to reload by hand on ignition. And so, like, if I called a bet, I got to call and reload fast enough before the cards come up to get in that
Oh,
hand.
what a horrible piece of software.
So is villain 21 a poster or a limper?
Villain 29 is a poster.
Okay.
So he posts, and I think, and the king queen should bet and should bet an inflated amount. And I think because the amount is inflated, I can just let my 6s go here. Why set mine for 4.5 when in a couple of hands I'll be able to set mine for 2.5. And then the same thing, the 3-bet. So that's what I think. Let's see what happens. 6-9 checks. He doesn't overinflate it. So now I can play any way I want. And I choose to flat it. That can't be wrong. Just
Well, he bet so small.
yeah, he didn't inflate it with the dead money there. So if this is what 6s look like on the button to the cutoff, the extra big blind in there, sure. I think that pushes the fold away. I don't worry about the fact that I'm not closing the action against the 6-9. Nobody is tricky limping their post late.
No, that's never happening.
That's never, yeah. Let's just say statistically that never happens. And to Joey, let's say we mean most of the time. It's a heuristic and a guideline, not a rule. All right, here we go. And then these guys should fold. The 2-4 should not play. But the 5-4 does. That is just terrible play. In his mind, he's going, I'm getting pot odds. Maybe he came from limit poker where pot odds were a thing. We are in no limit where the implied pot odds are much more important, and he has terrible reverse implied at pot odds. With this happening, the deuce 4 should still fold, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him call. And he does. And now the 6-9 who should fold before this should still fold, but maybe he won't. He does. There we go. And now it's just nobody, I mean, 4 ways. You have to have a 9. Check, 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 check. Ace, check, 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 check. Ace. Now I'm counterfeited. What a horrible way to lose this hand.
Now you have 6 hot. You have nothing. You're
I
playing.
have
for it.
nothing. And the deuce 4 goes for it.
Good for him.
And I think he's going to get it.
He has the best nothing.
Yep, he didn't get it. There
What
it
a
goes.
hero. He just got hero called, didn't he?
Yeah, king, queen, hero.
Wow.
That is
The
one
fact
hell of
that
a
he's-
hero call.
Nice hand.
Nobody-
Nice hand.
Nobody's got a 9 from the way it played. The ace is unlikely. I hate that he's doing it, not closing the action. That's the thing. This should be relatively easy in the small blind. And this is ambitious, but
Is anybody else finding a hero here with king queen?
not four-handed.
I'm just trying to figure out if this is out of line or a reasonable play, and I'm not sure.
I don't think it's a good play. I can see I can see the logic of it. That 9s don't play this way, 7s are counterfeited, and aces rarely play this way. This is not a common way for it to play an ace here. But you could. And he's got 2 other people behind. This guy doesn't have an ace played this way. I probably don't like that.
Yeah, this strikes me as ambitious, if not foolhardy.
Yeah, I think so. But I don't hate it here. I don't hate it if you're closing the action, because the other thing he's got to do is he's got to be right about this guy and also all his assumptions about 2 more players. They're good assumptions, but that's a lot to go right,
But maybe he's a better player than us. He's the one with 200 big blinds, right?
He could be.
But this
could be.
strikes me, this strikes me as very against 3 other ranges. even though the texture calls for it, I maybe could find this heads up, but the
Yeah.
texture definitely calls for it, but against 3 other ranges, it seems ambitious.
I agree. Also, he's not a better player than us because of his pre-flop sizing.
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna say that. I could be wrong. The other way to think about this is the space shuttle problem, which is if you're 90% sure of your read on this guy, 90% sure of your read on this guy, and 90% sure of your read on this guy, then the amount that you have, then your confidence level is 75%.
Yeah.
You know, it
I've
goes.
never heard that
everything-
referred to as a space shuttle problem, but I'm gonna do
It's the idea that the number of things that had to go right for the space shuttle not to blow up. You know, even if you were 99% confident of each step, there were so many steps that it got down to 50% that eventually it was going to blow up.
that you end up with faulty.
Yeah.
Whatever they were.
Yeah, yeah. If that's only if everything has to line up in series. If it's in parallel, it's different. But he does it. He wins. Good for him. All right. Derek, you're up next.
Okay. Fold, 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 fold,
So I went too fast.
fold.
Yes,
Hero can open.
right. I mean, because we've seen this hand already, right?
Are
Hero
these,
opens-
are we looking at
going the
hands
wrong way.
today that you V-pipped in?
These
Oh.
are all hands that went to the river.
Okay.
So the filter here is all hands that went to the river, but the observation is going to be all hands that I lost. I lost every hand on the river here, in the past month that I played. We
That's
will find out
statistically,
why. Yeah,
that's
I think they won.
statistically an accomplishment.
I'm very good at my style. By the way, I won back all 4 of my buy-ins this week. It's been a very good week of poker. I
So
also
you are in these hands. So this is a
I
filter
am.
for
these are all hands where I saw the
Dylan
river.
V-pipped and went to the river.
I may not have V-pipped them all. Well, yes, I V-pipped. I'm in every hand. Yes,
Okay, cool.
I didn't necessarily open every hand.
Are these from a particular session or from your full?
Pat, they're all in the past month and a half.
Cool.
I took 10,000 hands and said which ones went to the river. Let's look at those. And then as I was getting them ready for the session, I looked at them and went, I lost all of these,
Oh,
which
man.
gives us our Memorial Day tagline in honor of the hands. that
Fallen
fell.
combos.
All of our fallen combos. Combos is good. Oh, that's better. That's gonna be the tagline. Fallen combos is better. I said fallen hands. Fallen combos is good.
Cheers.
Derek, you're up.
Yep. Fold, 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 fold. Yeah, I don't like 10-7.
It is a pure raise, just so you know, and it is not even close.
7-10 is betting.
Just to show it to you, so you don't, let me show it to you in poker coaching here. Oh, wrong thing. Let me show it to you in poker coaching cash chart, which is a conservative small blind. Here we
Oh,
go.
that's another question I had. Which tables should I be using?
If you're in your game, you should be using the 8 max because you don't have a rake, because you're in a timed game. We should all,
Yeah, it's a time game rate. There is a $1 taken out for the bad beat theft.
what are your stakes? 1-3?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I don't
that
know.
doesn't really
Something-
matter.
Something between these two and this, and if you're playing using the GTO wizard ranges, grab a range that has almost no rake. Grab the smallest rake you can, because that's
Okay.
what you got. I mean, go NL 500 maybe. I'm gonna say, but here, just showing you this small blind RFI 100 big blind stack. Where 100 small blind RFI. Yeah, this 10-7 is not even on the borderline.
Yep.
You can go down. I mean, GTO Wizard goes down to 10-5, mixing with some calls, but 10-7 is a slam.
Yep.
There we go.
I agree.
And it's up to 3, and it's bigger than, and the sizing is bigger
Yep,
than
because you're out of position.
right. There we
You want
go.
the hand to end, and you want to reduce
Yes.
your positional disadvantage. And he's
Exactly.
only got you're paying 48, right?
All right. So I raise into a king, queen, not good, and he should.
You should call.
Um,
Is only a sliver of raise here,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
yeah, I would. Yeah, some raising, at least some, right?
Very small. I'll show it to you in GTO Wizard. And there's a shape to it that I know. When I was memorizing these, you'll see this. It's one worth learning because it doesn't exist in any other position. And it's this little rocket ship here. See that?
Okay, so it's doing it pure with the suited.
Yeah, suited, yeah. So there's the, it's got some raises, 11%, but it's this area here, which you will not find against any other position. All these have some raise, all these do more raising. So like against the button, they mix raises across the whole thing. Across the cutoff, you're gonna see mixed raises across the whole thing with, more folds, of course. But that shape against your small blind, and it's purely because you're in position. You just perfectly happy to see perfectly happy to play a flop. You don't need to stop it.
Yep.
So with that, he can raise small frequency. Let's see what he does.
Like
What a speed player.
Queen 9, Jack 9 off.
Yeah.
Those are a bit bluffy, I
Yep.
think.
Okay.
Okay,
Now
this
what?
doesn't hit your range as the better. The big blind is more likely to have 4s and 6s than you are.
Yep.
So you're not really happy with this. Like it doesn't hit your range very well.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking, oh, what a fucking flop.
Yeah.
So you decide to check here.
Okay.
Most of your range.
Louis has a concept called key cards. Just how many key cards are there for each one. I haven't gone and done any research to what the key cards are for cash games, but I'm going to guess that like 9s and 6s are probably pretty good for the big blind compared to any of these positions.
Yep.
And the small blind, probably still better from them. So
4s hit his range, definitely.
So we're definitely not going to bet. We're not going to range bet small on this flop. We don't believe. And Larry, would you throw this into a solver just for these assumptions? We're not going to go through the whole hand, but just to see. I'm going to predict that this is not anything like a range bet small. Therefore, when we bet, we'll probably bet large. And this hand can certainly bet.
Okay.
Overcard, backdoor flush, and a straight draw can bet, and it can also check raise. So, and it can't check fold. This is not a folding hand. So I
No.
just bet it out. He guts it out with 2 overcards. I get there. What do you like, Derek?
We have a marginal made hand pretty much. And we have a draw.
Mm-hmm.
So we're happy. Like these are one of those hands that stands between the marginal made hands and the draw. And I kind of think that if I turn equity, gives me the right to bet. When I don't turn equity, I usually don't bet. Like if this had been like something that didn't turn us any equity, like a 2, I would definitely not bet. But because we turned equity here, I'm gonna bet.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I agree, and I hope I do bet. And here's my thought, which is just like that, which is, it's not clear that this is marginal made. This is a new top pair. So that's
Yeah.
good. I beat a lot of what his value calls were there. It's a bad kicker. So you say kind of marginal. It's marginal because of my kicker, but I have the straight draw and it's a new top pair. I think that pushes it a little, I think makes it kind of pre-marginal. Margium. It's about a margium hand plus a draw. So
Like
I don't have to bet.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I would
be fine.
I would almost always bet this margin hand.
Yep, we did. He picked up a straight draw and 2 overs and is not in the mood to fold.
Now he's got a tiny stack.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
You might be saved because the flush king.
I don't think I'm going to be saved. But I'm certainly not winning the hand. The question is, am I losing another 32 big blinds? Let's find out. Check. Well, that's the number. I think this is an easy fold.
Good fold.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, just, it happened. But now seeing the whole thing, boy, do I like my sizing on the turn.
TTO. Bet
Yeah,
He
the
should be
pot.
folding. I think he doesn't have enough equity to call that side.
I could have gone bigger. Well, let's see.
Yeah, you want to look at this?
He's got 23, he's got 33%. He needs 33, he's got 23. He doesn't. Yeah, let's just look at just the flop of it.
Sure.
And let me also turn off my camera because there's no reason for you guys to watch me in Missouri.
So
How do we-
It's a very nice hotel painting though.
That's not a hotel. This is my mother-in-law's old house and now my
Oh.
sister-in-law's house. My sister's-in-law's house. There's two of them here. All right. Stop share.
TTO bet the flop.
Yeah.
All right, so. Yeah, we do a lot of checking blind versus blind, I think, generally.
Yeah. And
So,
our size, we mix between the two sizes, but we
I mean,
certainly,
yeah, we mix between B50, B30.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna see mostly across the range.
Yep.
What did we choose to do in game?
we had 7-10 of hearts specifically. So it's, and the heart combo, it does everything.
Yeah. Mostly
My,
checks.
my size was not great.
It does
um,
bet more than global, but mostly
Yeah.
check.
Yeah.
What size are you?
I bet the 33, which is not wrong.
fine.
But the 50's better. Actually, maybe I bet halfway between the two. Let me
And
go
he
look.
had king, queen off, right?
I bet 2.86. Yeah, no, I bet 50. I bet 50 with a rig. Great.
So he
queen
calls,
off.
he can call with his king, queen off.
Sure.
I'm curious about if you can call this pot size bet in the 10 of diamonds. So your top pair now, what is your top pair doing? So your bet's a little ambitious. I think you get bigger bets with the better kicker.
Yeah. So the bet is good. The check is fine, but the size was too much.
Yeah, well, let's see if well, B75 is what's he do with king, queen off here? He's mixed. If we overbet B125.
Yeah.
He still is mixed depending on his suits.
Right. And the suit he had diamond spade if we care. So let's look at the diamond spade against the two sizes. Diamond spade. Sure. All
Just a
right.
calling.
Good for him.
And then the question becomes, and the only, just to finish this off, let's give you a B125 because it's fun.
Yeah.
Jack of clubs.
Jack of clubs.
What's your second pair doing now?
Bluffing.
Yep.
That wasn't going to work.
Yeah, bluffing.
Yep. Not pure.
And mostly checking, actually checking.
Yeah.
In game, what did you do?
I checked. Check folded to his straight.
Let's see what our calling range is to his pot size bet. Oh, we're gonna be 87. Just very quickly, where's our calling threshold? So we're mixing with overpairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the straight is available. I guess the queen's like blocking the straight.
We never fold a straight, I assume. Even
No,
the
no.
ignorant.
No,
Give us
we just Our threshold, if you look down here, our threshold's really a 2-pair, right?
Right.
With some overpairs if they have appropriate blockers, which are the kings and the queens.
Yeah.
And then straights never fold. Sets never fold. To this size, you only have one set, it looks like.
Yeah.
It plays this way, and you shove your flush.
Right.
Cool.
And yes, it is 100 big blinds sim, and we were at 50 big blinds, so that changes some things.
That's a good point. Yeah, it does.
You're up, Derek.
What?
You there, Derek?
Um,
You
There
gotta
you go.
share.
see.
Oh, I didn't share. Sorry. That explains why. There we go.
There we go. Okay, ace five folds, 8-6 folds, 6-9 folds. King jacks. I don't like king jack, but you can open it here.
You're in the low jack. It's 100% open, just so
Yep.
you know. Yep.
2-9 folds, queens 5 folds, king 10. I guess you could fold this.
Yeah.
10-6 folds, ace 10. You could 3-bet it sometimes, but mainly call.
Yep. Never fold it though.
Yep. No, you're not.
Yeah.
not
So the
intending
king
to fold
jack,
it.
here is optional. To play, I think. Yeah, in this seat is optional. In the low jack, it's pure. In again, GTO wizard land. So there's your low jack. King jack is not optional. And here it is, one back. Now it's optional. All right, back to here.
Okay.
And let's watch that happen. Nope.
8-6 limps. That's disaster.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And now, my king jack is going to be 4.5 or fold. There's no chance I'm limping it behind. And I'm perfectly happy to go 4.5 against a guy who's limping 14% of his hands.
Oh, yeah. You want to play a pot with this guy? I
Yep.
might even make it 5.
Yeah, I've only got 28 hands on him, but
He
that's
just put a big sticker on his forehead that says I'm an idiot.
Yep, yep.
You want to ISO him, so I'd go to 5 here.
okay.
This is an interesting hand because it's pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough spot because you're in early position.
I'm in
This
early
combo.
position, but here are the things that are going for me.
But you really want to
Doesn't have a
ISO him.
raise of 0. So he isn't a guy who limps his entire playable range.
Yeah.
So that problem is out. It's only 28 hands, but this is, this stat says something to me.
Well, I think the whole point of low stakes is ISOing the fish.
Yep.
You want to get 1-on-1 in a phone booth with the fish.
Yep. But a guy with ace 10 suited doesn't let me. One
No.
would only 13 hands, but he's playing tight. So we'll respect that.
And our
And
fish
there we
comes along. Yay.
Yay.
We
Three-way
got what we wanted.
Yep. And let's see how much money I don't lose.
Okay, this is a terrible
Open.
flop for us with a 2-3s.
Yep. Okay. So DTO sets ace 10 checks range here. Did he study DTO? Yes.
8-6 checks.
Yep.
You check. This doesn't hit
Okay.
your range at all.
I do have 2 overcards and a backdoor straight. That is a
Yep.
thing.
You
Those are
do.
2 things. I have 2 things, but I probably need 3 things to go against 2 people. Nope.
Yep.
I only need 2 things.
Okay.
There we go. And now,
Folds. Oh, the fish folds. Surprise,
Yeah.
surprise.
yeah, he folds and he's going to get there. 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, 6. It's going to be a 4 on the river. All right. So-
Ace 10 has a pair, so he's going to bet it.
He can bet it here now
He's
that
gonna
this
bet
guy's
half
out.
pot, say.
Nope, he checks.
Nope.
I did not pick up equity.
So we check. We
Yep.
did not pick up equity. We're checking.
We do not pick up equity, and this 5 is terrible for us.
Yep.
This
It does
5
not
hit
hit our range at all.
everything he
rep a-
called with.
We're not ripping a 5, so we check
Nope.
here.
No. And when he has a straight draw here, if the reason he was here was a straight draw, he now has a straight or a pair. Every straight draw now has a pair or is a straight that I can think of. Yep, so we have to check. And then if he's a jerk, he's gonna check to us and try to get more money. But he's not a jerk. And we just fold.
Yep.
we go.
7 does not help our range at all.
7 does not help our range, and I have no idea if that, I have no idea how bad that bet on the flop was into 2 players. I don't think it's egregious, and I don't know if it's right.
I
So-
think it's okay. Like we have the strongest range.
Yeah.
Like what's your range like?
Yeah.
6s plus and broadways. So we pretty much smashing it.
So didn't work out. Lost 4 big blinds extra. Go the other way. I gotta keep remembering going up. All right, last one, Derek.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 6-2, king 3 folds, ace 7 folds, 3-8 folds, 5 folds, ace queen raises, king 10 folds here,
You think?
5-6 can fold here.
Yep.
Queen 5 folds.
Queen 5 should be doing some defending against the cutoff.
Yep.
Not a lot. And it should defend by mixing raises and folds or mix raises and calls. Let me see if I can get this in my head. Cutoff, Queen 5. I think it is mixing. I think it's about a quarter. I think it Queen 5, 2, 3, 4. I think it's gonna be mixing like maybe a quarter raises and the rest folds. That's what I think. We'll take a look and we'll see how everybody plays. Okay, so
King 10 is a
cutoff is an
call.
easy
Did you
raise.
call King 10?
I shouldn't. I should
don't
fold.
think you call. I don't think you called it.
I don't think I did. I don't think I made that big a mistake. I might have. And then when it gets to here against that raise in the big blind, there's your Queen 5. I pictured it wrong. It's definitely a play and it's mixing raises and calls. I was picturing Queen 3. There you go. Okay, having said that though, right, against the cutoff, yep, that's what that looks like. Okay, let's see what happens. The ace queen went to lunch is what happened. He was out of the room. Or 17 hands, 0, 0, 0. He's that tight. Wow. Seems wacky. But anyway, he folds, which makes the king 10 an instant raise. That's a no-brainer raise. 5-6 shouldn't have a lot of 3-bets, but it has a lot of calls, I think.
Yep.
Um,
Back like
If you have a calling
6
range.
high is not a good 3-bet range.
No.
You don't
Yeah.
want 6 high in your 3-bet range.
Oh, no, he doesn't
right?
even have it. He doesn't
I
even
don't
have it.
I don't like the call either, to be honest.
He doesn't. I'm wrong. I thought this region would show up. It doesn't. This is, yeah, that's
6
bone-
high is not
like-
good for your 3-bet range.
I expect looking at it, but he's gonna call, right? Look at his VPIP,
Shouldn't.
Yeah.
but he's gonna. And now, against that call, the Queen 5 suited should fold. I guess it probably squeezes it out of fold. This is hard to know. Let's see how it happens. Nope.
It's in a squeeze situation.
Yeah, you
It
still.
thinks about squeezing here. If it
Yeah,
knows what
remember
it's
he-
doing.
And if you look at the Queen 5 here, big blind there. So button raises, big blind, the Queen 5 calls. It doesn't need to raise. You add in this caller. And now the range got tighter and more aggressive. These jacks went away. But now we have raises all along here. He's not gonna, 25-8, he's not raising. He's calling. Nope, he folded. I was wrong. Right, but he's not raising. There we go. We have the best hand and we will struggle to make it to the river and get our equity.
Ace queen is shitting bricks.
Ace queen, if he sees it, he is.
Do we see a donk here?
We saw a donk big.
So Niffle says you call here.
Yep, Nuffle says you call here, king of clubs says you call here, and king 10 says you call here.
Yep.
All those. Great. Now we don't even have the best hand anymore.
Now he picks up some equity, so he bets.
Think he's gonna
Right.
check?
Although
Nope.
at this point, maybe he is going to bet, but I think this picking up equity here, Derek, is a better cue to check now, because now he has real showdown value, not just
Yeah,
equity.
and he just donked into a ace queen board. I think
Yeah.
if I were the dunker, I would check here.
Because I called a big bet. I have a lot of aces that I'm slow playing. I have a lot of queens that I'm not folding. He still has his draws. He has more equity, but. No, but he decides that he wants to win the hand.
Notice he down bets though.
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
He's setting his price.
Yeah. Now, if
Uh,
I'm strong enough to detect that, am I going to make his life hard? No, I'm gonna just try to realize my equity. Probably the worst of all choices.
Alright, so this is an important lesson in sizing tells.
Yeah,
Now, this isn't across all people, but let's think about his sizing on turn and river. I mean, he's essentially betting into the void, right?
Yeah.
He's donking into the void into an uncapped range. You could have aces here. You could have ace king, not, he doesn't know. And so I think there is room here for an imposition raise against these sizing tells.
there is.
Can you elaborate on the sizing tells?
Sure, can we run through the hand again?
Yep.
Okay, so he bets big here, right? This is like a B80.
Yep.
Okay. Now, in most strategy, once you bet big, and you're essentially declaring, I've got a hot shit hand,
Right, and you get called.
and you get called, well, you get called true. But my hot shit hand that is worth a B80 on flop is now not going to down bet to a B30 on turn. My hot shit hand, which I'm claiming I have, should continue to go for value, should continue to extract maximum value from villain, who's gonna have draws, he's gonna have flush draws and straight draw.
You're not gonna bet 5 big blinds with your set of aces here, or your
But my hot shit hand is not going to now choose to bet small.
right. If you had a set of aces, you would never do this because you want to
Right.
get all 100
Yeah.
big blinds into the pot, right?
So that's our sizing tell.
Okay.
And on this particular board, it's even more so because give us ace 9, queen 9, any of those hands. Ace queen, which he can have here without 3-betting sometimes. I have flush draws here in my range. You really want to you want to let me draw to a flush draw for 5 big blinds? I don't think so. I don't think people are playing that way very often.
Yeah, so this, I mean, so I think that this is pretty common. I don't know if it's common. This play is face up. And if it's and the play is face up and he's declaring the value of his hand, especially on river. So what's his river sizing? So his river sizing is like a B25.
Yeah.
I mean, he's saying face up what the value of his hand is.
Right.
That's never a
I mean,
set
there's
of
always
aces.
gonna be some stupid traps here, but I definitely think this is a situation where you can exploit the sizing tell.
Yeah, this screams of queen, doesn't it? It isn't a queen, but
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
I
mean,
was
this-
thinking.
Yeah, I mean, maybe,
Queen and very bad ace.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I think you get to raise here. I think you get to raise to like, I think, depending on how aggressive you are, you go someplace from 20 to 30 big blinds.
Yeah. Yeah. And boy, does it fit the story when the 9 comes that I bet big.
Yep.
But
Bet 40
I have
here,
king of-
and you can
but I
take the
have a
pot
king
away.
of clubs, and that's bad.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, Scotty. I don't know when we're on this kind of tree,
Yeah,
how important our blockers are.
I don't know either.
I think our blockers are important in very tight GTO driven situations where but I think that we're in a different world of poker. We're in a world of a triple donker with weird sizing.
Yep.
So I don't know how much blockers are important.
Yeah, so take a look in
Yeah.
solver. I'm sure I fold this. But that's what I actually did. Yeah. Yeah, so detecting that would not be bad. Um, the 9 is terrible for the first part of the story, but when he bets 6, the 9 is so good against
Yeah,
that
I mean, is anybody who
my story.
goes to try to set their price with their modular pair by donking
Yeah,
and they get to trips, they ever gonna use this B25?
yeah, yeah.
Never.
Now,
So, sometimes it's gonna blow up in our face and
Sure.
you're gonna feel really stupid, but I think if you play this, if you see this line 200 times and you choose to raise in position to an aggressive sizing, overall, it's gonna be profitable.
yes, here's the 2 things on this particular hand, and then I think we might be able to throw this into a solve. It'd be
No,
interesting. No,
this
okay,
isn't-
screw it. We'll move on. So here's
Yeah,
my
there's no dunking on this texture.
okay. So here's why I don't love this hand, this situation. I like this situation. I don't love my club. And I don't, and I, the 2 kinds of hands that I see him doing this with a lot, they're neither of them are what his hand is. A queen makes sense. Queen makes a lot of sense on this line, and a queen, and a queen can fold, and a bad ace, right?
Mhm.
Problem is the bad ace doesn't need to fold anymore because of the queen. Make this
The-
queen an 8, make the, and all of a sudden, make this queen a 10. All of a sudden, a bad ace has to fold to my better aces.
Make this queen a 10. Okay,
You
and
see?
then,
Because now I beat him with ace jack, ace queen, and ace king. Now
Okay.
I only beat him with ace queen and ace king. My ace
Okay.
jack splits with his ace
So you're talking about, okay,
in
okay, I
his
see your
mind.
point. You're
Right.
talking about chopping pots.
Right. I'm talking about the story I tell. The story I tell to his queen is great. I think I can get a fold. The story I tell to his bad ace requires him to want to fold. It's
Okay.
easier to hero a bad ace now.
I'm gonna make an argument
Yeah.
that the player profile of someone who's going to choose to donk with this sizing line
Mhm.
is not gonna be as aware of if he has ace 3, if he's going to chop or not chop.
Okay. Fair enough.
That may be a presumption on my part.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I feel strongly that we can exploit this line.
Okay. Gotcha. Artur, you're up.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
Force raise and win it.
Yep, that's what should happen. But the king 3 limps instead.
ISO pocket force.
Right.
Five blinds.
So now what do you want to do? What
I
do
would
you do with 4s now against that limp?
raise to 5 blinds.
Okay. if I'm gonna raise there, I'm gonna raise to 5.5 instead of 5, but okay. That's good. He's only got 35.
Oh, yeah. Says down. Says down probably
Right,
4.5.
yeah. Um. I
What-
suspect that I might look at this and go, screw it, let's set mine.
Yeah, it's fine, because we don't want to get
Yeah.
jumped.
Cause it's a half a big blind to set mine and he's got 70 times a half a big blind, so
But
that's.
like,
something-
look, set mining doesn't work if we range is wide, it doesn't work like to set mine. It works when we range is like tens plus or like like very if it's very narrow, then set mining works. But if it's very wide, like it's
I see what you mean.
almost-
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. So I go for a set mine, which is not gonna work because his range is too wide for me to
not
get.
necessarily. We still want to limp. There's some EV.
Okay. And life is over.
Okay. Oh, check, bet, win.
Right? But he doesn't.
Yeah, but no.
Why, where's that call coming from? What the hell is that? That is. That is a cat walking across my keyboard. That's bad. That was just bad. All right. You're up.
Ace 7 raise, big blind call.
Good.
Check.
We're running into it today.
I am. I bet, so I'm betting the straight draw and an over. But it is the ignorant end. And now we see how ignorant the ignorant end is.
I mean, call now. But we are crying already.
Yeah,
This will be a good hand for solver, because I'm not sure what you're supposed to do in this situation.
I think I should fold. I mean, I'm ignoring the fact that he has Jack Queen. I shouldn't be drawing to the ignorant end and not against big sizing. This is,
Oh, we're getting stacked.
First card in the deck comes off.
yep.
Oh, are we?
We're losing a bunch of chips. We're not necessarily getting stacked, but we are losing
That
chips.
like what's his range like? King Jack? What are we winning versus? 10-6, 10-7?
Well, there's draws that we are winning against, right? I mean,
Yeah, but name me a draw.
he's got some bluffs.
King 7 of diamonds? I don't
He's
know.
got, King Jack of diamonds is a draw. The, Jack could have played this way that we're now beating. But but probably doesn't bet the turn that way. 10 Jack certainly can play this way.
And on the turn, I think we have to fold. Like he doesn't have no bluffs.
No, this is just bad play on my part. And that's just bad.
Well, let's see.
I'm not losing these 72 big blinds though. I'm only losing this much. I'm not calling this. Don't call this. Thank you. Yeah, that was really bad by me.
Is this interesting enough to see in solver?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
let's watch the pain. Let's be
Alright.
reinforced by a computer telling me I'm wrong.
It's not about.
Well,
Fun versus big
sometimes-
blind, right?
If I just donk off chips and I think I play really bad,
Mhm.
I just have to just shut down and go away and do something else.
Sometimes that's the right mental game to play.
Do,
Alright,
do you,
let's see it,
like,
Larry.
like what do you do when you I don't like when I make a blunder, I can't keep playing. So I have to sort of like shut down Poker Stars and or if I'm playing live, I have to get up from the table
That's a
Good thing.
good,
It's a good thing to know about yourself.
because I can't like it. There's been times when I've been one outed and I've been really happy because, like, I think, oh, good, I made the right play. I celebrate. Right?
Yes, yes, yes.
But when I play bad, like when I get one out and I thought I played well, then I'm happy
Right.
because that means, like, if you're getting bad beated, that means you're playing well.
Yes.
But when I play badly and lose, I have to like stand up and say, "Oh, I'm fucked."
All right. Ace seven does some betting here. Good. The particular ace seven we have is ace seven of clubs. That seems
Yeah.
like the one it's going to do with the
So we get to
least.
bet with everything, right? Good to note that we bet a little bit more with the backdoor flush.
Yeah.
And now the question becomes, we're gonna give him he didn't go like this side. We're gonna give him the more aggressive side.
Yeah, he goes for the big. He goes for the big check. We bet small, and he goes for the bigger check raise.
So we are, so
He goes to 8-4-4. So yeah, halfway between the two.
yeah, so you are folding without the backdoor, but if you have the
Okay.
backdoor flush, you're calling. What
Right.
about this size?
Yeah, but look at his bluffs, like, first of all.
Then we're calling full.
Right.
So, well, I'm sorry, what was the comment?
Look at the big, what is he raising with?
Okay,
Right. What are his bluffs
alright, so here,
in
he doesn't
GTO?
have that healthy of a check raise.
And in general, population so passive, like, how can we expect like queen seven full frequency raise?
No, I'm with you.
So,
I think this was bad play against solver by me and bad play against population by me.
so the large part of his raising range is going to be OESDs, alright? You
Yeah.
can look at it here too, so if you look at what's he raising here? No made hand, what are his bluffs?
And I block the bad end of those raises. So if he does find a raise, if he would find a raise with a seven, he has fewer sevens now. So now when he finds it, it's with a jack more often.
So
Yeah, he's raising OESDs a lot.
Yeah.
So we can do that looking here too, I think. OESDs. Yeah, so he's raising his OESDs are raising a lot.
Yeah.
So Jack X is raising a lot, 7X is raising a lot. And his straight is his made hands. Is mixing. So he doesn't have to raise top of range here.
Right. And same thing with his sets, throwing his sets there too. And I think you see the same mix.
They're both
Yeah.
mixing. You can still
Yeah.
play them. You can do whatever they want. He's choosing the fast play top of range just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna give him, why don't we give him the big size and we're gonna give you a 7 with the backdoor flush draw as well.
Okay.
Okay, so you call
At the
ace of diamonds. This is where it gets interesting, right?
Yeah.
So it's very easy. I know I would overvalue my pair of aces here on this. I don't know if overvalue is right. I'm a little bit too exalted there. Anyway, so he chose like a pot size bet.
Right pot.
I'm gonna give him over pot.
Okay.
Well, look at both. So top pair is, we are indifferent AF
Right.
with our pair of aces here. We're
But
gonna
our
be
seven-
75. We're calling.
Yeah,
But,
but not seven. Only with the top end that can hit a straight. The jack can hit a queen, the queen can hit a jack. And they have an ace.
Yeah,
No,
that's, I guess
no,
that's the only
look.
thing we called.
What is this range? Like, why is this like range? Oh, never mind. You clicked on top here. Never mind. Never mind.
Okay. So the important thing for us to take away here is that, the ass end of the straight doesn't have enough value to call.
Yeah.
However, if we do, yeah.
But
we
the freak,
can't
look at
have,
the freak 7-9.
sorry,
Look at the freak 7-9 and 8-7. Those are diamond draws. Okay, that's why.
and it's
That's why. Okay,
Yeah, diamond draws.
all right.
So, yeah, we're supposed to fold at this point, which is an
Yep.
important lesson, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's just, and this is solver, which is going to have here, it's going to
Bluffs.
continue at some frequency with its trash. Half the time with its trash, it's continuing pressure. So, I guess the result is, what do we learn from this? Well, we just learned that even with the solver, which has a proper kind of bluffs, it's important not to overvalue your pair of aces.
Yeah. Yep. The aces that continue were the ace jack and the ace queen because they had top end of the straight draws and they were better aces.
Yeah, so they could hit the top end of the straight draw.
Yep.
That's an important thing too.
Artur,
Yeah. The small blind raise, win it. Oh, sorry, button, yeah, button raise, small blind, free bet. Yeah. Big blind fold.
yeah, but small blind didn't three bet,
Yeah,
call. right? And this is one of the three bets that we expect our opponents to find the least. The jack 10 suited, the hands that play well post flop,
Mm-hmm.
they just go,
Yeah,
oh, that's fine. I don't mind taking a flop. Yeah. Jack 10 suited does a lot of three betting, but out in the wild, it's very commonly called.
mm-hmm.
Same thing with ace 5 suited. I mean, not everybody has even looked at solver output. And I don't think anybody three bets ace 5 suited without having learned something from a solver. I don't think ace 5 suited was a big three bet back in the day.
Yeah, agree.
I could be wrong about that. All right.
Check.
And fives should.
I mean, I think it's supposed to check because
Yep.
it
I like
depends.
it.
But like, if he has like eights and shit like and stuff like that, sorry, then we should bet big here. Like, it's a big bet spot or check. But it's like very hard range. What small blind
Yeah.
has, what range?
Yeah, I kind of think that the thing to get in your head that's unpleasant here is, you know that if you check your fives, you're not going to, it's very unlikely this is going to check down to the river and your fives are going to win.
Oh.
And I think you just have to accept that your fives are going to lose this pot. Because fighting for it, oh my gosh. Huge fold.
And that's what they expect most.
Yeah, there, that's nice. All right, Trent. Turn on your mic if you want to.
Hello.
All right,
All right.
let me get these out of the way for you. There we go.
All right. So I think it's gonna fold to the small blind. Small blind's gonna raise 3.5x, and we're gonna call.
Yep, and how much raising do we do with offsuit aces against the small blind? Just offsuit aces in general.
Probably not much.
Okay. Just to give you thing, there's actually a fair amount of it, but not with ace 5.
All right.
Just to give it your picture in your head. And just show it to you. You don't need to memorize this, but just small blind raises. You got aces at the bottom and aces at the top you play, but not ace 5.
Yeah. I see some
And-
ace 7 off, ace 6 off,
Right.
ace 4 off, ace 3 off.
And if you wanted to simplify this range just mentally, you could cut out the ace 7 and ace 6 without any big deal and go top and bottom.
Yeah.
It's not a hard thing to, and that's not not hard to remember, but also not hard to make sense of.
Yeah.
Do that. Yep. So recall.
I'm guessing villain's gonna bet probably half pot here. And then we're gonna call once. And then the turn, I think villain 386 should still be betting. Doesn't, we should check back here. And river's an ace. And I think villain 386 should bet here. And then our hand is interesting as to whether we should raise or just call.
Yep.
I think we can raise a fair amount.
He's gonna get us on this based on Larry's read,
Yeah.
which is, boy, doesn't that look like wanting a cheap showdown? Here we are with two pair.
Yeah, it could be ace king, it could be ace jack.
Yeah. Yep, so I think we're gonna lose more money.
Yeah,
Yep,
does raise. I don't fault it.
and he doesn't re-raise us. Because he's not sure either.
Yeah.
That seems just unfortunate.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate river.
Yeah, I don't think that was bad. I don't think that raise by me was bad on the river. I think
Yeah,
just all it was.
fine.
Okay. Give you a readable HUD here. There's a readable HUD. Okay. You're up. Trent,
Am I up?
Oh, okay.
yeah, you can do three.
I think it's gonna raise around to us. We're gonna open 2.5 blinds. And then small blind probably should 3-bet. And then we should call the 3-bet.
Yeah, king 10 might be right. I don't know this range, but I'm betting that king 10 is right on the cusp of the 3-bet. That ace 10
Yeah.
does a lot and king jack does it a lot.
I
That's
think it's a
good.
bit of a spicy three bet.
Yeah, let's just take a look. That's just a guess. Yeah. Great. Ace
Yeah,
10 all the time, king 10 and some of that. Now, I don't expect him to 3-bet me based on his HUD stat.
Yeah, not at all.
So knowing that, I think we may be going, I think that either we're gonna be 3-betting the ace 3. And based on his HUD stat, I don't think we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna be playing against an 8-4 offsuit. No,
Oh,
he
he knows
calls.
goes to the river. Yeah, okay, now you know why.
Right. So I'm certainly gonna go to 4.5. I know me.
Yeah, I would go 4.5.
This king 10 is definitely folding.
Yeah,
And now the ace 3.
I'm betting here. 1/3 pot
As the ace 3 or as the king queen?
as the king queen.
Right, okay, so he checks, but no, but he bets tiny.
He bets-
So, a good example of setting your price.
yeah. I'm raising here. I'm going to probably 8 big blinds.
Okay, do you think his donk bet consists of a lot of 5-4 and jack 9? And
Yeah, or a lot of like pocket fives, pocket sixes.
5 and things like that, things that he limped. So a lot of suited stuff. But a lot of one pair in that. So given that, do you want to start to, do you want to inflate the pot now? Against that, Nuffle says call. Nuffle has us raising this not at all. Now, we don't know Nuffle well enough to know how to follow it up. We're gonna do, at some point, we're gonna do a workshop on as much as we can on Nuffle, either to get the information or to see if we can invite Brad to talk to us.
Yeah, I think Nuffle calls here, but then
Yeah.
it takes, often it'll take aggressive actions on turn.
Right, when he doesn't.
depending on
continue.
size.
So,
Calls.
so the three bet, so the raise here against, the raise here isn't crazy. I'm going to assume that I don't think it's the best choice because I didn't make it, and sitting here right now, I still don't think it's the best choice,
Yeah,
but I don't know. And,
it probably doesn't generate a ton of folds.
and if you were playing, if this was your hand history and you raised this, I wouldn't be saying anything bad about it.
Yeah,
I would just say strong and go on.
turn is a 10.
Let's see if yeah, so he's setting his price again. So at this point, Nuffle's gonna go pot plus his bet, so it's gonna go to 16.
Right. That would have been,
17. It's gonna say, okay, he's made a tiny bet. So we are now going to go pot plus villain's bet.
right. I like that better than this play. However, knowing everything, the other thing in game, I'm sure of what my thought process was. Oh,
Also, this Nuffle is new to us, right?
right.
The
Say
great
again?
unknown.
Say that again, Larry?
Nuffle is somewhat unknown still.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't play it. I don't know it. Looking at this, I know what my thought process at the time was. This is an often weak bet. This is a bet that, this is a 4. This could be a bad 9. This is often a weak bet, but now I have real equity. Now I have 10 outs and I feel good about all of them. And you're saying to me, I only have to call, a 1/7 pot with 10 outs. I'm just going, thank you. I'll just take my equity. I don't know that that's the best choice. I don't know that I'm reading. I don't know that I think I might not be reading enough into what it says about his hand. And I just looked and I went, well, that was a gift. Thank you for the birthday gift. And I can't collect my birthday gift here.
I've seen these lines before that make no sense.
Yep, that's
Tiny
presumed-
bet, the tiny bet, the pot size.
Yeah.
So just to talk about Nuffle a little bit. So what Nuffle's gonna do on turn is essentially in position, it's gonna take over the aggressive actions.
unless he continues a strong aggressive action.
Yes, so if he like on turn. If he like. Bet like bigger, you're gonna call with anything, but you're gonna fold your air.
Right.
But, here. With his sizing, it's gonna take the aggressive action.
And here on the river, I don't think there's anything I can do.
So I think you got a good point that raising on flop is fine. MSI, but
Mhm.
I guess the argument for turn is that he is now more played the value of his hand faced up, right? He took a non-polarizing action. He beat 2 again, he beat bet tiny, which will put you in a position to oppose to apply aggression. But now you only need to apply aggression on 2 straights with your bluff, not apply aggression with 3 straights. If you start on flop.
But your aggressive size is going to be bigger.
On turn,
Yeah, than it would have been on flop.
yeah, aggressive size is on turn is big. It would be like whatever that was, 15 bigs. And then generally, if you continue with your air as a bluff on river, it's a B70.
And here, whether I can read into that his line makes no sense. He only has 18 chips left.
Yeah, there's not much you can do.
So
Yeah,
I
there's not much you
can't,
can do.
I can't feel confident I can get him to fold a 4 here. Or a bad 9.
Yeah, I mean, this is, well, this is not, he's implying he's got whatever he's implying he's got. You can't.
Yeah.
There's
He's
not much you can do
implying-
here, but he
he's
was
implying
certainly
I didn't raise
implying
the
that he had a
turn.
very weak hand before.
Yeah.
And when you take over the aggressive action, right? We
Yeah.
all know the value of that in poker if you're playing exploitably.
Yeah. Okay.
You must get, it's
And-
supposed to be limp. Oh, I see what's going on.
Right, and I'm just gonna hit the button that gives us a readable HUD. There's a readable HUD, okay. Go on, Trent. Trent's been eaten by bears. Okay,
No, I'm
Uh,
here. I'm
you
still
there?
here.
okay, great. This is your, this is your third one, I think.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna fold around to us. Because the 381 is posted in the small blind, or posted the blind. And then we're gonna check. And then flop. I think it's gonna go check, check. I think we should continue checking here. And check river. This is an interesting one.
No, it's not. She's an animal. She deserves it because she's supposed to stop.
I think I'd fold here. Yeah.
Alright. Alright. Participants, who's up next? Larry hasn't gone yet.
Sure.
Have a new hand.
Now, 1 second, let me just get situated here.
And I will move some of these windows a little bit.
Okay, yeah, Hero gets to RFI. I think 8-4 actually is a fold, but I think we're gonna get a call. Maybe you get some limps from fish here.
Let's see, so hero is the sixes and the 4-8, right, okay, so what happens? We get the Jack 4 limp. Followed by the King 8 limp.
This is a very tough situation. I think you've got limps from early position. I frankly am usually torn between set money and ISOing here.
Mhm.
I think ISO is better because you're so close to getting position on these two players. So I think I prefer an ISO because you aren't cut off.
I think I always usually go for the set mining. I don't know if, like, I was also always thinking that if I make my set, then I'm gonna get paid off more likely. So
Yeah, I mean, I think
I don't-
either's fine.
I'm
So our-
fine set mining against 6 players.
Right, so Arthur made an argument here that I think is worth considering, earlier. So when we set mine against 4, 5, or 6 players, we know every flop hits someone else also. And sometimes we get set over set, but mostly when we get all in, we get set versus 2 pair. And we're very happy.
Yep.
But when it's not going to be against everybody, when it's going to be against one person, and I'm going to extrapolate and say maybe 2, but we'll go with 1. If they've got a very wide range, set mining is not as profitable because when we hit our set, they often hit nothing.
It's a valid point. I never thought about it that way.
So now in this particular one, I have not seen this. I haven't reviewed this hand, but I am 95% sure that I ISO this. And here's why. Look at the HUD stats. I've been playing with this guy, Villain 369, for 117 hands. I've seen him play. his range is garbage. V41, 31 limps, and calls 44. I've been playing with this guy for 36 hands, which is not as, I'm not as sure, but with a number like V56, these guys have been playing every hand, right?
Yeah, we've got some fish on hand here.
Right.
Right.
So
But I would argue that 6-6 is not a good hand for ISOing.
I mean, you are bluffing. It is a bluff.
Right.
But
like
I like it. I like it. I would not like it out of position. But
I want to-
I think I like it as a bluff in position.
how about if
I- I
instead of
I don't want to
5.5,
use
though,
6-6 for ISOing. I like to use ace-5 for ISOing.
okay.
Can
Yeah,
you-
that makes total sense. Ace five suited is a beautiful ISO bluff hand.
I'd rather use stuff like for this, for like sixes. Like when I look at those stats, I think that the problem with these guys is they call too much.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you look at and you see a 57-36 in villain 377.
Mhm.
So he's probably coming along for the ride.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
looking
think, well, you have a good point. I mean, you may not win it on flop.
Yep.
But they're also then gonna come into the hand with sort of what frankly are marginal holdings, which aren't necessarily gonna hit.
against 3 players, I'm losing this hand most of the time, but I don't have to win it most of the time. I have to win it more than a quarter of the time.
Right, but 6-6 is not the right hand to do this with, is what I'm saying.
Okay. What about, and if I ISO, the standard ISO size is to 5.5. What about pushing it up to 6.5 or 7, since I know their ranges can't support it?
Like for squeezing stuff, I don't like 6-6 because it's in some ways too good for squeezing to 6
Right.
because you want to save stuff like, you know, ace 5, king 7 to squeeze with.
Good enough.
So I'd rather just set mine here.
Okay. Good arguments for set mine. Let's see what
Yeah,
I
I
did.
think it's totally valid to set mine.
I went straight for the ISO and I didn't increase the size. And there's the 4-8 coming along like expected. So now everyone's coming along.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, there you go. And there's nothing to be done when they check here. There's no bet here, right?
Okay, now there is. Right? So I agree with you on flop. It's a weird situation. It's very tough against 3 ranges. However, paired board is kind of nice because it misses more people.
Mm-hmm.
And then on turn, when it checks around, I think now you could put a bet in. I would do a B50 here a lot.
Okay. How's that for fun?
You cannot bet half pot on the turn.
Bet half pot turn.
Because like you have no boats, basically. You have to bet. And also 6-6 is like previous hand. We also had 6-6 4-way. Like both of these are bets, I think.
Repeat
Like on the flop you can bet 4 blinds. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, bet there. Plus, I'm also protecting myself from a 7 or a queen coming off.
Yeah, I can. There was a like overspot as well with pocket 6s what you checked. Or pocket
Yeah.
5s. It was
Yeah.
4-way and I thought it's like, oh sorry. And I thought like it was okay to bet.
Okay. On the turn, not on the flop, or on the flop?
On the flop, on the flop.
On the flop, okay. Good
Yeah,
enough.
I'll send screenshot for like free win.
I appreciate that. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's very
Right.
creative.
But I think it makes my play easy. Even to 3.3. Yep. Whoops, this way. All right.
Or is it me?
Yes, it is you, and let me see if Arthur has placed anything in these.
Oh, you wanna, yeah, you wanna put that up
Yeah,
on the screen share? We just put a screenshot
No.
in chat.
I'll put it right up here so you can share it.
It was like one of first hands that you showed, like, it was
Yeah.
cut off, or like, yeah, cut off big blind, small blind, and, big blind.
Mhm.
So, and you checked on, like, pocket fives or pocket sixes on nine
Right.
nine. And
And I-
it's,
This is on flop, right?
yeah, it's flop. It's freeway.
So the flop, the check is okay, but I could have bet.
Yeah, and I think like the way they are capped, like here ranges are like a bit, I don't know, different, but when everyone is checking, four-way and your last act, you can bet a little wider.
Okay.
You are betting like 3 blinds into 15, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It works, it works. You can size up if you're like, well, we
Okay.
playing here.
Yep. So that certainly would have, I don't remember what the outcome would have been in the previous hand, but it certainly would have been better in that hand. I think
I
we're doing
mean,
much,
it's the same thing. I can show you for this hand as well.
okay, yeah,
But freeway.
yeah, let's do that. Do you want to share the screen and just run the thing? Or do you want to just post it?
How
Your
do I
choice.
share?
Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing and let you share.
Oh, share screen.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. Okay, I can do freeway. It's like it's free version. Everyone can use this. So
Oh, this
100 BB, what was like positions?
Let's see, this is
Oh, it
on,
doesn't do like two out of position players, like low jack.
oh, right, because there were the limps and all that. So yeah, we can't do that.
But like we can do like small blind and big blind where ranges are still wide.
Yeah, similar.
Oh, we cannot do big blind. What board was it?
Board was, let me go back one. Wrong direction. Board was, here we go. 10-10-7 rainbow.
Check, check, and yeah, we bet basically everything. But it's because small blind is not leading. And no one is leading, that's fine. Both ranges basically check a lot.
Great.
So small blind is checking middle range. A bit of betting. Backdoor flush draw such. Weird leads.
Are you on, hijack now? Okay, so it's okay, so no betting from big blind, okay. And we're betting range.
Great.
And
Except-
keep in mind, it's like a quarter pot, and where we could bet like I don't remember, like 10% pot, like 3 into 15, or like
Right.
whatever, 2 blinds into 15.
Can you show us on turn what happens?
No, it's paid. I have free version.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
We're
fine.
gonna, when I have, a month where I'm not doing a lot of shows, I'm gonna buy Prometheus for us and we'll do another, multi-way madness month. But not today.
Alright, thanks
Okay.
for showing that.
Thank you. There we go. Back to this.
So one question real quick, sorry.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that you can show flop action on Prometheus for the free version?
Can I show flop action?
Yeah, so you have the free version, right? So in Prometheus, if you have the free version,
Mm-hmm.
it will show what happens on the flop.
Yeah, full everything. But like limited positions like DTO, like only some positions.
Okay,
Right.
thanks, man.
Cool.
Alright, so,
This is something.
yeah, this is an interesting hand. So 3-7-3 is going to RFI. You should 3-bet. And it should be heads up.
But we wouldn't be surprised to see this. No, we would be surprised to see this 7 come along. He's an 8-8. He's not coming along. There's a
That's fine.
raise. There's 3-bet. And there's the call. Perfectly fine.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting spot. I think that I always think of the queen as being very good for out of position 3-bet caller. But I think we're gonna get a mix here. I think you can bet our jack. Generally, I would bet, take a more aggressive line. Yeah, she's got enough to call here.
Backdoor straight, overcard. Only, oh, two backdoor straights. 9-10 is a straight. 10 king, backdoor flush. All kinds of overcards.
Yeah.
One of them comes in.
So you got a decision point. Now's your decision point. And that should be largely based on if the nine improved your out of position draws and range. And I think it, I obviously we could see the cards, so I don't know if I'm influenced.
I think the
Um,
9 slams into his continuation range.
So, yeah, I think then if you're pretty clear that.
Yeah.
This helps out of positions, flatting draws, then, check a lot here.
His direct straight draws on the flop were, that makes sense for him to be here with. 10 jack makes sense.
Yeah, 10 jack makes a lot, 10 jack suited.
9-10, 9-10 makes less sense, but could be there. 9 jack makes less sense, but could be there. They've got those.
Yeah, I think the completed equity is gonna result in us checking a lot here.
Yeah.
We've got, very marginal showdown.
Yep.
Um,
And then, how well
and
does he?
then, so. I think in solver. What would villain 3-7-3 do? I don't know. I don't know if this is, I don't know if he can bluff these combos.
The only good thing going for us is that ace jack has showdown here.
Yeah, so I don't know if,
But he
I
doesn't.
doubt solver, I doubt
he-
solver bluffs here.
Yeah.
It's very hard to hero call ace high in the 3-0 pot I found.
Yeah.
I
I think
generally would fold here.
he gets to win that. Yuck.
Villain 3-6-3 is gonna open. If the villain 3-7-1 can choose to turn this into a 3-bet, but in this early position, he really shouldn't be flatting us,
And he's not going to.
in theory.
We've got 75 hands on him and he's a 9-9. He's just gonna fold.
So I think he's gonna play, oh, well, maybe hero, yeah, so hero's going to flat. Okay. I think hero might be, yeah, I think you're okay, yeah.
100%. 100% call in solver.
I don't understand how this gets to
The river?
showdown, but we're gonna find out, I guess.
Check, 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 check.
So he should, yeah, this is the size he should use. But
Right.
I don't think you get to call.
Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't get to call. Louis calls. Against small size.
No, I don't think so.
And now he checks behind. That's how we get there.
Okay.
And I take a shot that sometimes works and is not going to.
You don't have enough equity to call on the flop. You're dead like versus sixes, like you straight dead. Like
Okay.
with 7% equity.
Gotcha. I need it. My the backdoor flush and backdoor straight aren't enough against, small size.
You wanna
Yeah,
confirm?
versus under gun range, even versus like bottom, I think it's pure fold. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, take a look at it. We'll look that far.
'Cause I'm not
Okay.
totally sure myself.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll set this up.
I'm sure now
Uh,
that I looked at it. All right. How does this happen to me? He's got to limp his kings, right? That's what's got to happen. Yeah, of course he limps his kings.
Oh, of course he limps king.
While you're looking this up, the
Okay,
kings, once the kings limp, this ace 7 might limp in with him. This queen deuce, looking at his numbers, might limp with him, but I'm gonna have to see a flop. It's just me. I get forced to see a flop. And flop middle pair, so I'm gonna lose some more money. Check, bet. I'm gonna call one with my deuce of diamonds. Oh, no, that's not what's going to happen. I'm going to raise him now. There we go. He calls,
Oh,
and I don't want to play poker anymore. At least it's a spade.
oh.
Yay, me.
Alright, you wanna take a look?
I don't want to look at anything anymore. Yep.
Um. Okay, so this is a range bet for UTG. That's the first thing.
Yep.
You know, we don't often see a range bet, but this texture is a range bet.
Yep.
Bet small. So what do we, yeah, we need to have the front door.
Yeah, the back door's not enough. The front door
You
is.
can check even versus button. It's not enough equity even versus button versus very
Right.
wide.
Yeah, throw that in, throw it in against button also.
Okay.
Just to confirm, just to cement that in our heads.
Two of clubs, king of hearts.
King of clubs. He's not range betting, but he's betting every hand in range.
Now you're there. Now you actually get there.
Yeah, I got folds also, but it's not enough to call.
It's
only
very
to
interesting
turn-
that it's in that in between space against.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just like such a good lesson in positional awareness.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it's in this weird nether region where it wants to become a bluff. Because button's range is so much wider. I mean, I'm using 9 max here, so I mean, when you're using 9 max at 50 and now, he's only playing 10% of hands. It's a super condensed range. Shit ton of kings, right? You go to
Yeah.
button, and it's 42%.
everything. Yeah.
So
Nice. And very nicely done, Arthur. Okay, let's go back to screen share. There we go.
it's a very interesting check raise, though. I wasn't expecting to
Yeah.
see that. You probably check raise.
Do you have another one, Larry, or are you up? And then anyway, let's see how much money I lose on this. I check, he jams, and I'm gonna probably fold. Let's see, do I lose everything? Nope. Nope, that's
Pain,
a thing.
discipline fold.
Yeah. Yep. Okay,
Still me?
I don't know, but do it, but take it.
Okay. It's hard to know how hero gets in this hand. I mean,
I have jacks.
well, you're in big blind. It's hard to know how this goes. So I guess 10-2 is going to mistakenly limp. I think 10-2 limps.
Jack 7 could be limping with a limp of 3.
Maybe,
Probably
yeah.
not.
However you
be.
got in this hand, it's a
Oh.
it's a travesty of a poker play.
Right.
So villain 350 is making a horrible play.
Let's see how horrible. Cut off Jack 7. No, that is correct. Cut off Jack 7 is there.
Oh, I'm the one who plays poker horribly. Mine, correct?
Right, it's right there. Queen 5, Jack 7, kids. Let's just confirm my claim. It's cut off. Jack 7, right there in the big fat Jack 7 area.
Yeah, it falls out in poker coaching, I guess, yeah. Cuspy.
Yeah,
All right,
right.
sorry, my correction, cuspy play from villain 350.
Cuspy and gutsy.
Yes. You
You
can
can-
do either here, but I think mostly you 3-bet.
This is gonna be mostly a 3-bet, and if I'm playing for reviews, this is a combo that I will check. If I'm playing to try to make money, this is a combo that I will 3-bet, that I'll 3-bet.
Yeah,
all.
so you should be going to like 12 here, maybe
Yeah.
13.
Yep. But
So-
I played with you guys in mind,
I
This is-
will appreciate that.
which is, this is a 70, which is, let me get this, in the big blind against the cutoff. Our jacks are, Oh, wait a minute. And against the cutoff, the jacks are, I did this wrong. Against the cutoff, the jacks are pure. Against the hijack, they're 75%. This was just a mistake on my part. These should be pure. Raise, big
Yeah, I think
blind,
this is a high frequency. three.
jacks are pure. This is, I don't know why I saw this in my mind. But there's your 25%. And in 25%, you know, they don't do it. Cut off, just, this is just. This is just my brain not working correctly, and let's see what happens.
So you flatted, so check,
Check,
check. I think it's a good hand for hero.
that's a
Check
good,
again.
that's a good card for me.
I don't think there's, this is a call.
Easy call, no reason to raise. But now he can bluff.
Yeah, no, there's no, I suppose bluff. So the only questions I'd ask myself here is, how often is hero checking his front door flush draw on flop? I mean, this
What-
is a very, very, this is an ambitious hero call. But the only question I'd ask is, how often is he?
How about ace 10 with a 10 of spades?
Yeah, sometimes it's a very, yeah, might be influenced by the,
How
by
about
the,
nine?
seeing the
How
hand. but-
about, how about offsuit 10-9? Or offsuit 9, I mean, how about an ambitious offsuit 9-8 open? Or a jack 10 open, but then again, giving him the 10 of spades.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's very hard to call here. This is mostly a
Yeah.
fold.
and the thing in Joey's world of these are not bluffs, fold, don't hero call, you know, your hand is a hero call, don't make hero calls. Is a little bit different in this board because it went, you know, because I've shown such weakness. And my
I mean,
hand
the,
is-
the one thing to think about here is that this guy constructed what is against humans, I think, a very effective bluff.
Yeah.
Which is, because, I mean, he's got no equity on turn.
Yeah. Yep.
And so he's constructing a two-street bluff, right? He's
Yeah.
constructing a small bet followed by a big bet,
Right,
which to humans is a lot more believable than just bombing river.
yep, and his, and the board cooperated with him. Because there are a lot of rivers that this bluff doesn't work with. I'm planning, when I call my jacks, I'm planning on calling most rivers,
Yeah. Yeah, this,
you know.
this is a very bad run out for your combo.
I don't wanna see an ace. I don't really wanna see a king, but I really don't wanna see an ace, and I don't wanna see a spade. Most other cards,
Yeah, I guess this is like one of the two worst cards for your combo.
Yeah.
The
most
hero.
cards I'm calling river here. Cause I loved that queen of hearts. It's great. There's no reason for me
Man,
to,
I'm feeling bad for you, Scotty.
yep,
And
And
we all
look-
have really.
Yeah.
Bad
Well,
runs.
This
It's
also,
been a
this
bad
one
run.
also, though, this one is definitely bad play, cause this is just a mistake on the fly, and you run this thing out the other way. I 3-bet it and he just folds, and it's
Yeah.
over, and that's just great.
So I think in chat, you got a good point, MSI. It's like. Maybe you put in your blocker sizing on turn.
No, we have to like big bet. He doesn't have queen. He doesn't
Maybe,
have.
but
queen.
you've got showdown, right? So you're essentially turning your showdown hand into a bluff.
What do you
Right.
mean? Like what beat us?
What beats us?
That's the point. I mean, it's-
Well,
except-
what beats us? I don't know if that's as important as well, I'm thinking maybe I played too much like a solver now. But I think
We
solver
have
often
first nuts on
going to
the turn.
check
We
this
have
back,
first
check
nuts.
this on turn because it has a hand that has equity and there's a showdown hand.
So I'm gonna
Even
answer, so I'm gonna
Even
answer,
if turn is deuce, we still have like the best hand always.
right.
Literally always. Not a single hand that beats us.
Right, so here's my thought about it, Arthur. Is the vast majority of the time, on the turn, my hand is the best. And the overwhelming majority of the time, when it is the best, it is still best on river and I can call. Therefore, I can allow him to bluff again when he bluffs and make money. But there are times when he slow played a real flush and times when he slow played a bad flush. That did happen. That is not zero. And I lose more money by betting into it. My
Maybe-
hand
Mhm.
my hand is either way ahead, which it is, or way behind, which it is not. Therefore, there isn't a lot of value for me betting the turn because what I'm doing is I'm getting him to fold hands that are worse, and I'm calling almost every river. The board just really cooperated with him on the river. That's why I don't need to bomb turn. In this particular case, it was a disaster. And good for him.
It makes sense, but like in my opinion, like we check pocket sixes with a spade too often. Not too often, but like it's the only hands we have. Like he's
Yeah.
Would it help
seven,
to look at
like
this
he's
in-
10 with a spade, and we just don't bluff turn.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Would it help to look at this in solver, not to prove anybody right or wrong, just to understand hand classes here a little bit?
Well, you got to give me 10-10 instead of Jack-Jack.
We have to think
Well,
logically.
or I could just put you in hijack. I could put RFI in hijack.
Yeah, put an RFI and hijack and do it. That's good. Let's do that.
I mean, this isn't to say anybody's right or wrong. This is just to say,
Yeah.
talk about hand glasses and kind of talk about where our bluffs are coming from.
Right. And while you're doing that, there is zero doubt that Arthur is right about this hand. That this hand goes much better. Arthur plays this hand much better than I play this hand against population on this day. No
Yeah.
doubt about that.
Yeah, good point.
I'm-
Good point.
So let me give you 100 points on that.
Yeah,
And-
Arthur would have won this hand.
Right.
I'm not-
And I'll give
I'm
my,
not
and,
gotten
and by the way,
bluffed off it.
both would have won this hand if I'd played it correctly pre-flop.
Yeah.
But being where I am, I'm still going to give myself 10 points for not betting the turn. All right, let's see what we got here. Let me stop the share. Stop share.
If we are bluffing, like you're saying, yeah, it's for sure like even better, I would say, to check.
Okay, hold on, guys. And I might have gotten, because, so ultimately, solver plays a pretty defensive game
Mhm.
out of position.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the best way to play out of position in some situations. Solver is not
Well,
necessarily the best way to play against humans all the time.
Absolutely true, but even on this hand, I'm going to give myself 11 points. Still Arthur has 100 points. I acknowledge that. Which is, if that river had been anything other than an ace or a spade,
Those are the two worst hands in the
and
deck.
my line beats Arthur's, because if this guy bets again, one way we get his 3 big blinds and he folds out a hand with zero equity except for bluff equity. And I collect his bluff, I collect his pot size bluff on the river, and then I look like a genius.
Yeah,
But right now, I don't look like a genius, and I acknowledge that. So in a counterfactual world, all right, so let's see what it does. So Jack,
in a counterfactual regret minimization universe.
yes, exactly.
It took me 5 minutes to remember what the term was. All
Yeah.
right, so here we pure check on this mono board. What's interesting to me is that he gets on this monotone board in a solver land. He's just betting small across every part of his range,
Yeah.
right down from no equity hands like king six, all the way up to what must be like, ace high flushes.
Right.
He's just everything. It's just all across, right? Which we
And
see
while he
over and
doesn't
over
have
again
jacks-
flop. It's just
yeah.
more exaggerated on a monotone board.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
go
while he
ahead.
doesn't have Jack 7 here, he does have eights. He does have I'd say there's nothing that's the equivalent of it. So I guess his bad kings are, but even them, they're overcards. All right,
Maybe
moving.
these.
Oh,
They're
also, what is important, like eights, for example, not eights, like jacks. Jacks with a spade is like mostly betting.
Yeah.
And humans actually check mostly jack with
Yeah.
jack of spades. So
So
like pocket pairs with a spade is mostly betting usually. on
say that
mono.
again. I didn't hear you.
So pocket pairs, like pocket sixes, let's say, they mostly bet in a solver. And without a spade, we mostly check, and it's opposite in real world.
Okay. Yes. So check, check, right?
right?
You do have some leads, but the question becomes, where do the leads come from? So, so I think, you very well could be right, Artur, that it's better to take the betting lead here. In theory, we don't because we've got showdown. So in theory, all these have showdown. They can win.
Stay on that jack just for a second, and let's just to look at suits. It wants a spade to bet. It doesn't need one, but it wants one. And it needs one it doesn't need one, and it needs one to bet big. You can
So we're
only
probably
bet,
beginning to have oh, sorry, it needs one. Yeah, it does need to have a spade to bet. So we're probably getting into like a polarized, that's not a very polarized strat. This is
So-
pretty far up in our range, right?
So
This dark area is the jacks. They're pretty far up in
Right.
our range. So we're essentially turning a pretty good hand into a bluff.
no, he doesn't have queen X. Every human like is betting queen X on the flop.
Right. right, I like that simplification.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
not protecting their queen X
They
range.
want to like charge flush draw. They don't understand that like any flush draw still has like 50% equity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think we could, so it's very weird because his bluffs, the bluffs that we do have, they're like all over the place. Like their bluffs are probably down below, like these are bluffs, these under pairs are bluffs,
And the
turning like
assumption,
no equity bottom pair into a
and
bluff
the
of big
assumption,
sizes.
the assumption that's going into Archer's analysis there, I agree with. I think those are really good assumptions about population.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that on this texture
He doesn't have
with a queen, humans are not protecting their checking range.
that
Yeah.
that we can simplify. And again, with the, I'm saying things that we have 80% confidence with, I'm going to say them with 100% confidence to simplify. Our opponent has no queens. Our opponent has no flushes here. That's what Arthur's saying, and I'm agreeing with him. And our disagreement is therefore what to do with Jack without a spade. That's the only place we disagree.
And it's first not, so we basically have to decide if he's bluffing enough. Like you're saying, if you're saying he's bluffing enough, then we let him bluff.
So like with our marginal holdings here, like our under pairs, second
This
pair,
guy
third pairs,
was.
we're mostly calling, except our shittiest third pairs.
Yeah.
So we call. And it was the
King of spades.
nightmarish king of spades, right?
Right. And in
We're
this
throwing
case,
brilliant bluffs right now.
right, and while it's doing that, and in this case, when we're talking about this particular opponent did have enough bluffs.
Yeah. So, we do have some donks here, but they're coming from. They're coming from the middle, bigger part of the range. Like you could almost, well, we're donking these eights to try to get a cheap showdown, right?
Yeah.
You could almost throw jacks in here. It's just saying that jacks are a little bit too far
No,
up.
but every eight had a spade. Those were eights with spades. We don't
Oh,
have
that's a
jack.
good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, that's only their spadiness.
Let's go here. Yeah, it's only when they have the shitty flush.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your jacks are like down in this region.
We check, he bombs it.
We check.
We call with a jack of spades and we fold without. That's what the solver's gonna do.
Well, let's look at both. So he's got over bet.
Right.
We need a spade blocker.
And the smaller bet, I say it's the same. Oh, no, a little bit more,
We get some heroes.
but his size was pot, right?
Pot, I think, essentially.
Pot.
Yeah. So, okay. Passing it back.
All right, that's a thing. All right. There we go. Let's see participants, see if there's anyone here who has not gotten to play. Screen sharing. Participants, quick. There we go. Scotty, Derek, Larry, Arthur, Skate hasn't done one. You're up, Skate. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. Okay,
Let me give you a hand.
Alrighty then. I think the button ace it should fold around to the ace four suited. We could definitely open one button and 6-7 off. I think we could start calling yeah, the offsuit 5-4, 6-7 offsuit in the big line.
Right.
Maybe.
So I disagree because you missed this ace six. He should open.
The ace, yeah,
Six suited in the
Okay.
low jack. That's a pure open.
the low jack.
Oh yeah, every suited ace in the low jack and everything but ace deuce in the suits in the previous to the low jack. The ace deuce and ace three, depending on where you are. But from low jack, it's ace deuce. So ace six in every position is a raise. But this guy is not going to raise it. This guy's
Really?
going to.
That wide in the head.
Just from his stat.
Okay. Okay. I gotta study that spot then.
Yep.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah, well, let me show it to you. Let me show you too. This is just to get the picture in your mind. This is super easy. Here we go. Every ace, my friend, in low jack. To the pre, the ace three is full frequency. Then it goes to half frequency in the three, and then it goes to a sliver, you know, in the very under the gun. But again, every one of these is full frequency. So ace four up, you know, if you don't find these ace threes in these positions, I don't care. But from the low jack, every suited ace, and from before the low jack, ace four and up are solid every time. So this ace six across the board, always raise it.
Oh, okay.
This guy, however, is going to limp it.
So basically what I was told, like why we play with hands and like king four is basically not because we don't free bet enough, but to make not flushes and cooler lower flushes. We don't care if it goes multi-way in home games.
Right.
So we just make better flush and stack them. And we
You're saying,
low
oh, why
block.
you're saying why you would open limp this?
No, not limp, like in race or whatever.
Why you open
And
it? Yeah.
yeah. Like that's why we flat like this guy, let's say 6 raise and a guy on the bottom flats with no rake king 4.
Sure. Sure.
Like king 6 maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
For stretching.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know,
Small
no,
blinds, yeah.
no rake home game or a timed game. All right. So against this limp, we expect fold, but now, shall we ISO with a worse hand this time?
On the button, this is probably not good enough to raise. I would say maybe you could start isolating with some ace set, not even looking at 10, some a7 plus. Well, maybe ace-9 plus. I'm not really sure. Okay, he's playing a lot of hands. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind putting some of the wheel aces here. I mean, especially against this stuff. We could probably, we're gonna play better post flop, get better ace fold, etc.
So while I actually have the worst hand here, I think the vast majority of the time I have the best hand and he has a hand that he cannot defend adequately on the flop. Now he's going to defend it, given he's got a C46 here. I don't expect that this ISO is going to just win the pot all the time. I expect that I'm going to be playing against a terrible range in position. And I happen to have ace four suited, which is nice, but I don't need ace four suited. I just need him to have a ridiculously wide range. That's what I think. And that's how I played it. And then this happened. So he checks.
Okay. So, this board is kind of connected, I don't think that we should start betting bottom pair here. I think that we could easily check this back and evaluate on turn.
if I bet here, it should be small, I think. With locked up equity that he could easily have, 5-8, 3-5 easily have. And he can have these cards easily.
Yeah, even if we had a backdoor, I wouldn't want to bet. I think we could start betting. You know,
This hand actually probably fine
yeah.
to go small, but in general you want to bomb because you have like tens plus and he doesn't have. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, if you are gonna bet, then yeah, bet small.
But like if you have like better hands like space or whatever, you can split here. No one like limper not gonna exploit you, but in
Right.
general you want to bomb when you have good hands versus
Got
weak
it.
hands.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
this
yeah.
hand, this hand is marginally made, so I mean, the simple thing is you just check back with the equity you have. But I wouldn't be surprised to see myself bet small here to try to get just
It's
9.
fine. I will split. Ace four I'm always betting like versus limper. You want to protect versus 10-8. Not
Yeah.
10-8, like Jack 10.
Now I'm done.
So you're saying you're not really that worried about a check raise from this player?
I can fold to a check raise.
Okay.
If they check raise, we have nuts. The
Right.
worst we can have is like, I don't know, flush draw, and it's not flush draw. They check raise nuts basically.
Okay. Well, they bet the river, which sucks. I mean, I was hoping they would check so we could start
we could-
thinking about turning, bottom pair into a bluff here, but we can't. So we fold.
That's what we do. Against the person who we were trying to get in. We were so hard trying to get in against someone who had a wide range, and instead we got into a hand better than ours and bet when we were
Yep.
behind, and everything went wrong. All right, you're up.
All right. I think King Jack offsuit is too. Yeah, I think that's a little bit too early. So we could fold around to sevens, which should open. All pairs could open the button. So yep, 5-6. Can 5-6 defend at this?
Couldn't just
Yeah.
a fold.
Fold, huh? I think. What did it start? 6-7.
No, against the button, just don't play any of this. Just don't play any of that. Against the small blind, play the 9-8, 8-7, and 7-6 as calls, and not even all the time. I'll show it to you. This
Okay.
is against 2.5. Remember, if they go to 3, be even tighter. The difference between 2.5 raise and 3 is actually a lot. You tighten up a lot against a 3 raise. But here we go. Button in a raked environment, nothing offsuit, all the way, 10-9. That's not because it's suited connect. That's not because it's an offsuit connector. That's because it's a 10-9. That's defending your offsuit nines.
Yeah.
And against the small blind. Small blind raise.
We need
Here we
suited
go.
because of reverse flush.
Whoops, sorry. Here we go. 9-8, 8-7, 7-6, and then ignore this down here. So this is an easy fold. Therefore, we know the 7's limped.
Okay. Okay, I like that.
When the king jack, one of the most limped hands in poker, king jack off and king 10 off. If you need to put someone on a single hand and not a range, go for king jack and king 10 to limps. There we go. 7's fold.
Yeah.
He was at lunch. There's no way that a 32 folds 7s.
Yeah. Yeah, he was probably
Something happened. Because a 31 called 9-8 out of position. And we got forced to see a flop.
yeah, in that case, yeah, I think 8-9 off should have folded, but okay.
Yep, I agree. 8-9 offsuit should fold there.
Okay, I think
Can you
that
I'm bet now?
I mean, I think it can, considering how it was played. I think it can, with solver agree, probably not. I think what's gonna happen, is that I don't think the king jack's gonna turn him to a bluff. So no reason to go turn here. I mean, I don't think he's gonna turn. So A9 should bet for him down. Yeah, let's go with that.
Against the humans we play against, this 8-9 bet it seems pretty good because this guy has villain 359 speaking in Arthur's voice now. He has no aces and no heart draws.
Yep.
None. Zero. Hero has some aces, but very few, and they're all shitty because I didn't raise the limp. So
Yep.
your 9 is very often the best hand, and the next card is very bad for you. You don't want to see
Yes.
you don't want to see a club, and you don't want to see any card bigger than a 9. You don't want to see a deuce. You don't want to see a 5. That's a lot of cards to not want to see. So, not in solver land, but in the land of him having 0 aces and me having no good aces, and him having no real flush draws. Not bad.
I'm not really too worried about a 5. I mean, I think. I mean, of course, it sucks that somebody can't have a deuce, but I think whatever the chances of those are kind of small. 10 jack queen, it's king with suck.
Now me, open-ended.
Yeah.
Open-ended, but it's a double flush board. I only have 2 clean outs. I mean, I'm sorry, 4 clean outs.
Oh,
I have 4 clean outs to the nuts.
okay. Open-ended.
I have 8
think
probable outs and 4 definite outs. And I don't
Eight.
know what this guy's gonna do.
Oh, you mean like
Look at
4 different?
But I can look at it and say he has no aces also.
You mean the? Oh, I see. You mean the deuce or the 7 of no heart or no club?
Yeah, those are the nuts. So I have 4 outs to the nuts and 8 outs to the most of the time best hand. And I don't need to worry very much about him 3-betting right now.
So, you know, so I guess the thing is here is to think about the small blinds range that check the flop. Well, you can't really think about that so much here because there was an pot. So the ranges can be pretty wide.
He could have aces. He can have lots of aces, just not the best ones.
You mean like what, like 2, like what do you mean, like 2 pairs left, ace 4 flop?
Yeah, he could have checked ace 3 and ace 4 on the flop. Even in the wild, people do that.
Yeah, so to this side, I think it wouldn't make sense to raise. So I think we just flat 5-6. Yeah. Okay, well, if villain checks, I am definitely considering a bluff, or I am bluffing. Oh, no.
You want a bluff raise?
No,
Anybody
we
want a
don't.
bluff raise this size?
No,
I don't.
no.
I think
we gotta fold.
yeah.
No.
I think he has aces here in his range. And I think that it's not that hard for him to call some of his 9s here against my range. All right. You got another one.
Already then?
Right. And I think the definition of my play on the past few hands can only be defined as weak. Weak or nitty.
So you mean like the last hand?
Yeah, meaning I didn't make anything happen. I waited for the deck. I gave the deck an opportunity to win the hand for me. I did not give myself an opportunity. I did not create an opportunity to win. And I don't know if in either of those cases, if I should have. But I certainly didn't.
I mean, I don't think so. I think you just, you know, just lose the hand, you know?
Yep. All right.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think deuces may be too early to open. Yes, it is too early to open, so we're gonna fold around to a7 on a button off, which get open, we're open all aces, suit and offsuit. 10-7, offsuit, it folds.
Right. And looking at this, I think deuces, by the way, have slivers of open here. There's no reason to do it, but they do exist. This guy's not going to do it. He's a V5 R2 over at 44 hands. He's not opening deuces. And I don't think he's limping them.
Yep.
This king 4 doesn't seem like he's going to limp it. These hands are unplayable. The ace 3 raises, the ace 7 raises, and the jack deuce calls is what's going to happen. Shouldn't, but that's what's going to happen. And the 10-7 might even come along. He does.
Yep.
Welcome to not GTO. What do you think?
Okay. Well, it's gonna check around to hero. You know, I would be more worried if the 9 was a 10 or any other Broadway. But here with the 5e on the board, less likely of anybody having a 5, right? So are there any other ace highs that limped that we could bluff off? Should we bet this ace high
Yeah.
here?
Right. So I'm
And
gonna put that I think that's a really good question, and I'm gonna state it a slightly different way. I'm gonna state it the way Tim states it in Louis' group, which is, can I get better aces to fold? Because I don't care if an ace 6 folds. That's not good. I want ace 8, ace 10, ace jack to fold, and they have to have those. Do they have any ace jack in this situation? Yes. They don't have to raise all their ace jack. They ace queen they've probably raised, ace king they've definitely raised. You know, most of the time. Not all the time, obviously. So yeah, I could get there are better aces I can get to fold, and that's good. So
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. But I do have showdown.
Yeah, that's pretty much the question. Can you get better aces to fold?
Right.
You probably can. So I think that we can bet this.
And what size should I bet it if I bet it?
Maybe somewhere around half pot.
And I'm gonna go with multi-way you size down. So I'm gonna go to 2.5 here.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
multi-way,
paired board, and paired boards we size down.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I'm on team side now. Maybe if you were heads up, you could consider side up.
sure. All right, check. But in this case, I check behind with my ace my ace saying it has showdown.
Okay. Yeah. So as played, I think there's no reason to bet. We could just check and realize.
Yeah, but I like the 10-7 betting here. I like him betting out.
Oh.
He's got a
Oh,
straight.
yeah.
He's got a
Yes,
straight draw, and neither of us have represented a 5 or a 9. He's pretty, we are devoid of this board right now. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And he
Yes,
doesn't
correct.
bet that big. And he does. Unfortunately, I have a 7 also. So I can call this. That's my problem. And he does not make them at a 33-20. I don't think he makes the mistake of not betting this. Yep. And once
Yeah,
again, Hero has been outplayed.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
both played it well.
Yeah, well, he played it better.
You A7 I think shouldn't call turn. We don't have no bluffs. On the
Say
turn.
again?
On the turn you shouldn't call. We don't have no bluffs.
We don't have,
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't,
Big blind when he's betting like it's usually something. I didn't
Right,
see
well-
something, but
Yeah,
my-
that's
the insides, the inside straight draw with the
Yeah,
overcard.
that's good.
yeah on
shot.
the on the turn. Yeah, I think I think that might be correct to start folding a little bit more, especially with small blind in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably start calling more heads up. Probably, yeah.
All right. So I'll take over. And switch went, let's see, 3:30, we started at 1:30. Yeah, we started, yeah, 1. Okay, great. Fold, 1, 2, 3. This is a fold, but in the hijack seat, this has ace 5 offsuit has a little bit of raising, just so you know that. Fold, queen 6 suited, raise every time on the button. 10-4 should fold. King 4 off should be a fold here, so much a fold, but he's not going to. What's gonna happen is, if anybody limps, I'm gonna fold this queen 6. Therefore, I raised and the king 4 came along. There's my raise and the king 4 came along. He can, this is a donkable board for him. If he's got a donking strategy, he can donk this board and his hand. He could donk this board with his hand if he wants to, but he doesn't. And I don't need to bet this. I can call. I can also bet to clean up equity either way. But I check it, that's fine. But, and then this happens and why do I even play poker? This seems like just a third pair fold now.
Yeah, I
Nope.
think to this size.
Yeah, that would have been better. And now I fold, so I just get to lose extra chips with my bad play. I should have just been a fold there. All right. Queen jack too early. He's a 31-5. I think we might see a limp from him. King 9 fold, ace 9. This is a raise. He's a 21-21. I expect he will raise it if it's folded to him. 5-5. If it gets folded to me, this is a raise. If this guy limps, I don't know why he would. I could call or ISO, and then we'll see what happens. So let's see what the queen jack does first. There's the limp from the queen jack that doesn't surprise us. Bringing in the ace 9. If the ace 9 raises, I'm folding here. So he limps behind. So now
Yeah, I think your overlimp is fine.
I can overlimp and I can also ISO against this. Remember, this under the gun range is trash. He's a V31 with 35% limping.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So this range is trash. And the fact that he's an R5 is good because that means he does raise.
So maybe what happens is you ISO and then you get flat and then you get called by 338.
I ISO, yeah, I'm gonna ISO and it's not gonna go well for me, but I'm gonna ISO because I'm gonna put this guy at the absolute bottom of his range because he didn't choose to ISO against this guy.
Yeah,
So I ISO big and get called in 2 places.
pain.
And now,
Thanks, Kate. We'll see you next time. See you tomorrow.
okay. And now how much money do I lose? Check, check, check.
Yeah,
Only
go.
2 cards for them to hit, the deuce, the deuce. So I bet, and that's how much money I lose. Oh my gosh, the jack queen calls me. And now I'm done with a hand. And now I'm more done with a hand. And I do not hate this bet with the 5s here. we discussed this, Art, based on the things that Arthur pointed out. I don't hate it because the paired deuces make, there's really only one card for them to hit a 9. Now granted, they hit the 9. But I didn't know that when I bet. So I don't hate this loss here. It's me. 7-8 suited hand raise, doesn't have to. He's at 22-15. I expect him to limp this. 10-7 is a good fold from here. The 10-7 doesn't come in till certainly on the button in the cutoff. 10-7 in the button and the cutoff. No, it's 10-8. So this is a raise here, but I expect after a limp, I expect him to limp along, at which point the king queen is going to ISO. And as we all know, ISOs never work. Why do I do them? Why am I wasting my time? Here we go. Limp. Ah, fold. Good for you. Still going to ISO.
Yeah, I would ISO that.
It's still ISOing. And there's the call. And of course, I have the king of diamonds though. He checks.
I would bet here a lot.
I can bet here. I can check. I can do either one. It's not my board, but I have the king of diamonds. So I bet. Now I find out I'm behind. This is going to go check, check. And I don't think he should bet here.
I think a bet call would be better.
I think he should check call, and I think he should try to get me
I'm
to
sorry,
bluff.
check call, yeah.
And I think I'm going to bluff the king of diamonds here. Nope, he bets it out, so I don't even get a chance to bluff the king of diamonds. So at least I lose less money. Thank you for the bet.
At least the pots you're losing are smaller now.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. All right. Artur, you're up.
Let's see. Small blind raise. Big blind call. Okay. Small blind call. Freeway. To the flop. King 5 check, H6 lead. 5-3 fold. Okay, split. Check back. But H6 should lead, guys, if you're thinking.
Yeah.
It's better as lead. Oh wow,
That-
what is this?
What is this? That's just based on the after checks around, they don't have it, but this time they do.
Oh, I see, I see.
That's what it is. So it was the thing we were
But I think
discussing.
you should show down your king X.
Right.
Because you're a hero. I think you should show down. It's like barely enough showdown. It's still impairs, like, I don't know. It's not like we are well betting. Maybe we are, but I don't know, it's different.
No,
It's
we're not
very
bad.
matchy.
It's a pure bluff and it's one and done. No, you know, that jack
But
is
like
not,
it's too strong, no? If you want to, you can like bluff jack high.
oh my
engage.
God. Oh my.
I think it's blocks wrong bet sizing because you're not making 7x to fold. If you're
Right,
betting, you need to like overbet.
right. Or bet small and just get it and just get a
No,
heart.
small is
without-
like bad.
No, I mean, just to get a heart draw with it, just to get a heart draw.
No,
They
you're
had-
beating. You're beating.
Fold.
You're ahead. Like that's why.
Yeah.
Your king high is good. Like versus poisoners.
Okay. And that's the end of that nightmare.
Ace-8 raise, big blind call. I guess I don't know. Maybe free bet.
King deuce against the cutoff. Yep, king deuce against the cutoff has king deuce against the cutoff has very few raises, but never folds. It's got like 12.5% in the raising range.
Mm-hmm.
And just to show you that, here's the cutoff. And here's our king deuce. Oh, higher than I thought. 36%, but still,
Mm-hmm.
I knew that. I think that was another bet. No, against the cutoff. Yeah, against the cutoff is that. Yep, that's the barbell. Okay. Yep, so that's what we do.
Raise.
Yeah.
Oh, is it maybe check? I don't know. Probably check. Yeah, I see check back. Induce. Induce,
Bluff.
we probably showdown.
Yep. And now check.
No, no,
turn.
King Deuce, I think should check turn.
Yeah, check turn. Here. And then I turn it, and then I turn it into a bluff at the exact wrong time.
But like, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen two turning hands into bluffs that didn't need to be.
Yeah, but what are you like? Queen Jack? I don't know what you're targeting.
Well, queen jack I have beat. So if I played well, I would check call against queen jack. So we're
Or
not doing.
check raise,
what am-
probably
what am-
check raise to be honest.
Okay, so on the flop. So I'm saying that he continues with diamonds and spades. But my deuce is not enough to beat them, and that's crazy. So if I think this through, this is a nonsense bluff.
I think we check raise turn. I don't know. I think it sounds good. Check raise turn. Because also population bets too much, sixes and sevens in the two. So
Yeah.
we want to like. But I don't know if we fold.
Yeah.
In MTTs we can fold like once we
Right.
start betting wrong hands.
But this is like that.
Deuces raise, ace queen free bet, fives fold. But we probably limp. I don't watch stats.
Right.
Okay, so
That's
I'm
what
deuces
should
thinking
happen.
ace
raise.
queen calls. Here's what's gonna happen.
What's gonna happen is either limp, or raise, call, and I set mine. No, fold and limp.
Oh, what is this? Raise fives,
Raise fives,
bigger.
he calls. You like a bigger raise there?
Yeah, Friedman 5, 4x.
Let's see.
I think Solver likes to split.
It does
Between the
split.
two
I wanted to
sizes?
see what it preferred for the fives. The fives, it likes the small size. Just, it's the bigger size is not wrong. And I have not
Oh, you
bothered.
have reg. In MTTs we raise bigger, like 100 BB, it's like 4x, but you can even go bigger, like 5.5.
Yep. So that time we did that.
Check, but small.
He checks. I bet small. He
Uh,
call.
call is fine.
Wow.
What a
Yeah,
card.
check. Never leading.
He checks.
Uh,
Check against the set. I have showdown and I don't have. He has, if he has hearts, which I have crushed. He has sevens, which crush me. And he never has a queen.
I would probably bet here because
Yeah.
I have an overpair advantage. I have aces and kings that he doesn't have.
it doesn't matter if we have advantage or not, like, it doesn't make sense to bet, and I think, yes, we want well bet versus ace-x.
I don't need to turn fives into a bluff here.
But like,
No.
he still check also ace high. It's
Yeah.
like. And we have like supposedly a lot of loss.
Well, it depends on how you feel about your fives. I mean, we have showdown. I see your point. That it makes no sense, but I think there's value to it sometimes. That makes an easy choice.
Hopefully.
You ever wanted to know what a 10x, but what bets 10x here? When the flush comes in.
Well, I mean, it's a good play on his part because some people are not capable of folding boats,
Especially limp call pre-flop, the best part.
right?
Who's-
So,
Who's folding a 10 here?
but yeah, a lot of people just aren't able to fold despite what the pot odds are or what he's saying he has.
Oh, I believe him.
Cause you could level yourself into calling here because you're like, well, he doesn't have aces and kings. But I have aces and kings.
Right, but if that's the case, then I have aces, then that's when I call is when I have aces and kings.
Yeah, so
That's-
he's getting value
And
from,
in my
yeah,
range, sometimes I have them, and that's when I do that.
yeah, good point.
All right. One more.
Okay. Oh, for me, ace deuce raise.
That's not a, yeah, you gotta fold that.
Yep, that's way too early. But he
Yeah,
did it.
so ace deuce call. Oh, we have no flats. Okay, ace deuce.
Just fold.
Um,
I don't
probably
in this
fold.
hand. I don't need to be in this hand. I decided to 3-bet this from the cutoff.
I
This
would
is
imagine you'd seen something sketch from this, from this. Player.
28-17. I've seen 129 hands.
So you definitely seen him, you probably seen him show up at showdown with something stupid.
Let's see, we've seen him calling deuce, deuce, king nine, queen nine, 8-5 suited, ace 10. None of that's too specious. The 8-6 offsuit is goofy. And we saw that shown down. We saw him call 3-bets with a queen jack off.
Which is this hand, obviously.
Yeah, no, it is, but oh, you're right. Maybe these notes are early. You're right. These notes might include what hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Or it may have happened already.
Which
This
would,
is-
yeah, which, so I
Oh.
think probably you've seen something and you're like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna 3-bet this joker.
This is still
But-
unnecessary, though. If
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this, I should do it starting ace 3. I might as well use the real cutoff range, which is ace 3 suited is where it starts, not ace deuce.
I would say even ace four. But yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, it's not pure, but against, here it is. This is, I just happen to know this range because I learned it today.
Yeah, ace four.
That's where.
Yeah, and
the-
MTT is exact same.
Yeah, these exist, but this one doesn't, so I don't need, if I'm gonna spread out, why don't I just go at a higher frequency of this and not spread out to that? What I do-
It folds tens and nines. It doesn't free bet. Full weight.
Not pure.
I'm very surprised.
Right?
Cash is crazy. The amount of tight that you play against a raise in cash is so different than an MTT.
Hmm.
And our big blind defense is, I mean, you just look at this big blind compared to an MTT. I mean, we never get this stuff. This stuff doesn't come in until the small blind. And this never comes in. We just never play this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And against a 3 big blind open, if you've never seen this, it is not even poker compared to the way you guys play. I mean, pre-flop only. We have this lovely tool of 3 big blinds, which I will repeat, you can't compare the 3x open here to the 2.5x open in the post flop. It's a different
Yeah.
algorithm. You can only compare pre-flop to pre-flop, but just to show you this, under the gun, opens, raises to 3, and the big blind. Look at that. Suited connectors, not suited gappers, all the way to the queen. You're not even calling queen 9 pure or jack 9 pure against a 3 big blind open.
Yeah.
This should make you MTT players spin in your graves right now.
Yeah.
And just to show you, this is compared with, when I do this, this is what it does for 2.5s for that same situation. This is slightly different than the 2.5 range that we see 6-handed and 9-handed in the post flop scenario, but it's close enough, to compare all the that thing that you should be used to. All right, back to this hand. I don't know where this came from. He calls.
Check queen jack. Range bet small. 4 blinds for you. 5 actually.
Yep, a little bit big, but it's between 6 and 7, small. keep me in. Hopefully I'll get a flush so he can get all my
Mhm.
chips.
Oh,
At
this
least
guy
he
called the
gets that.
free bet as well. That's so funny.
At least he gets that.
Check now.
Yeah, because he has jacks in his range and I have showdown. That's a good card for me. And by me, I don't mean my range. I mean, for me personally, that's a good card because I
Mhm.
may be able to get away from this now when he bets 31.
Oh, big donkey. I wonder what river is he supposed to do?
What,
On the river.
what's he supposed to call to a 3-bet?
No, what like as played, he has queen jack suited, right? Of hearts, let's say.
Oh,
What
right.
says he's supposed to go 10%?
Let's take a look.
On flop?
Yeah,
No, on wherever.
river.
On wherever.
We can
After
look.
check. Or
Yeah.
20%. I don't know. He for sure has small sizes, but I don't know what size.
House.
I wouldn't be surprised that he should check raise the turn and get value from flush draw. He should check raise the turn small, keeping flush draws in that are drawing dead. You know, literally click back. I think would be a good turn play.
Yeah, but we are not betting turn, right?
On off hijack. votes.
And
No,
if we betting turn, I don't think he's raising. I
Right,
don't
no,
know.
no, I'm too good to bet turn. I'm not good enough to fold ace deuce pre-flop like I should have, but I'm good enough to check turn. All right, let me stop sharing.
Alright,
All right, let's see it. All you
alright,
gotta
we've
do,
got,
you gotta make him suited and you gotta give me ace three and this thing plays.
alright. UTG raises, we're in cutoff, we 3-bet, this is our 3-bet range.
Mhm.
with
I think your
three bet.
expansion was fine.
Yep.
I don't even know, yeah, he doesn't get to call queen jack, so he's not gonna have queen jack, so this is,
All right, this is meaningless.
this is kind of busted. We can give him king jack, we can't, well, let's see, what's the run up? Let's give him ace jack, he has ace jack suited. So he's gonna boat up on turn. So,
I mean, you can do if you want like hijack versus cutoff or something range, but it's like not like for him not so tight.
I didn't hear you say it again.
He was
No.
saying change the positions where he calls his queen jack suited.
Oh.
Get him later, or
Or like it doesn't matter. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's up
Well,
to him.
ace on the turn, so he boats up, we'll just say he boats up on the turn.
Yeah.
He gets donks on this.
Hmm.
Which is very unusual. Why, what about this is giving him donks? This is kind of, he's
We don't
dunking
have
a large part
jackets.
of range. He must
We
have a
have
nut
much less-
advantage here. So, yeah, he's got this weird nut advantage. He just has more best hands. Like if, so if you look at like very top of range, he has as a percentage of range, he has twice as much.
yeah,
So he's got a clear nut advantage, which I guess we can see here. If you look at the linear equity graph.
Yep.
But obviously no one's gonna donk in this situation. It's a very unusual strategy.
Mhm.
We can see why Solver's doing it. Okay, so check. When you're down here, right, you're gonna bet at a high frequency. So
And
you're
I have-
betting across
have a
probably
spade.
all of range.
yeah. Take a look at my ace three of spades and you'll see. I don't even need spades to do it. Oh, look at that. It bets it less when I have it. Crazy.
I think probably it's because we saw that he's got the nut advantage.
Yeah,
So you don't really want to get check raised off your equity.
right.
Cause he's never supposed to have a boat yet.
Yeah.
See, but you don't want to get check raised off your equity. So, what size did you choose on flop?
Bet small.
What's he supposed to do with the strips? He's gonna slow play them at some frequency.
Right.
His worst jack 10, but his ace jack mostly is fast playing. But we'll say call, he's got a sliver of that. ace of clubs, we're gonna say that he now is put up. If he does have full houses, quads. He is donking them at half the time. Half the time he checks. He gave me checked, right?
Yep.
Check. Now the question for me is, what are you gonna do down in this region? So you are continuing the ruse, but it's a small bet. You do not. The interesting thing here is you don't have any big bets on this
Right.
run out, this texture. You're only using a B20.
And I used
Check.
B0,
Sorry, say it again.
and I used the B0.
You used to be Joe, yes. Do you check? Now the real question is, what size does he use here? So we got the 10 of clubs. What's he doing with the top of range? And his top of range with this ace jack. Here. He's a B60. Look at hand classes. So the very top of range, he's using B60 all through it, right through here. Some mix of the shove. I assume this is a shove where you could have also houses at a higher frequency
Mhm.
because he's unblocking jacks and ace jack.
Right.
But mostly he's a B60 with the very top of range.
What's his all-in bluff? Down there
And
at
his
the bottom,
all-in, his single all-in bluff is sixes
with a spade.
with a spade, yeah.
Not a club, no, with a club. They block one combo of club flushes that he probably doesn't play this way.
So what are you
That's-
hearing, call? If he bets big, he bet like pot, right? So where's our hero call coming from?
He bet, let me tell you how much he bet on the river.
So when he
Pot.
bets. Yeah, what did he bet? He bet pot, right? So we'll
Bet
give him
pot.
B80. So your heroes are. Like
Straights,
straights, yeah.
straights.
So your
and-
heroes start at straights, but
and then
not
I've-
all of them, right?
Yeah, no, I've got,
Straight is
hero-
considered a weak hand here on this
Yeah.
run out,
hell, I've got
but
king.
straights, so any top pair essentially, you do have some flush shoves with ace queen.
Yeah,
You must have some important blocker. Well, we can see it actually. Let's geek out a little bit. So ace queen is like this flush shove. It's got a very high blocker factor.
right.
Value movement is 7, so that's big. So
Mhm.
that's why the blush shoves are coming from ace queen.
Yeah.
So
And it's funny that we're calling it a bluff because it is the top two pair and it's still a bluff.
yeah, I mean, it's equity. Let's look at its equity just to confirm.
Right. What are we trying to get it to fold?
Yeah, its equity is 33%
Yeah.
to this side. I would imagine straights. So if we bluff shove here. What?
Block
does
the
he
heck, you know what we
fold?
block? No, I know what its blocker properties are. I think. It blocks the hell out of full houses.
Yeah, that's all that matters here on this paired board.
Yeah, it blocks the full houses and then it blocks a little bit of the straights. Because it blocks ace, king, and king, queen.
Yeah, this is a bluff. This is a bluff shove.
Yeah.
So it has high removal factor.
Right.
And when you shove, he's supposed to fold straights. And he's now with his pair of 10 quotes, he
Consider,
is indifferent. Right, so his tens are coin flipping, they're entirely indifferent. They don't know what to do.
right.
So that is, any other questions about the solve, guys?
Nope, looks good.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Go back here. And then we'll stop in about 14 minutes. Sound good?
Sure.
There we go. All right. Back to the pain that is poker. Who's up?
I could do a couple.
Okay, you do a couple.
Queen jack opens. You can,
What about this guy?
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
king-
that's
king
what I
jack.
meant, king jack suited.
Yep, king jack suited opens.
To a big size, so you're in a interesting position here, where I think your hand more is a three bet than anything in small blind.
I think it's a lot of folds, though. If I play it, though, it should be a three bet,
Yeah,
and I get a
okay,
call.
now this is, you probably gotta come along here.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing to just choose to. Yeah, this is not super approved, but it's not the worst thing. Put him in
Yeah,
the
I don't
big,
know, I don't know.
put him in the
This is
button.
always a tough spot for me too. It's like, I've got this hand that can draw
Yeah.
the nuts.
Yeah.
Multi-way, it's a tough situation. I mean, you're gonna fold this probably.
So,
You could
let's go.
GTO or, yeah,
There's the one. Yeah, so he's under the gun one.
so
So he
give
raised,
button a flat.
then we'll give it a button flat, and there I am in the small blind with 10 jack.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get,
it
it's
exists.
indifferent, solver's indifferent. It's like, oh,
It's-
maybe I can, oh, okay, I wanna see.
Let's see, if I'm spades, that's why I'm playing it. I'm spades, that's my 25%.
Okay. So you
And then-
flat,
And then I look at this guy's, and then this guy's just reasonable, right? He's got a reasonable hand. He's uncapped, that's fine. But this guy has been calling a lot. So this is dead money that I've chosen not to pursue with a raise. Because I don't,
can
so
you go
I
back to the range? Let's see where your squeezes come from then. In this configuration.
Yeah.
So your squeezes are all these, all have all these, either are value squeezes or they have blocker properties. I mean, you're
there's-
rarely squeezing the suited connectors. You just have these good blocker properties.
Yeah, I don't think king, queen suited is a bluff here necessarily, but these are bluffs.
Yeah, and that's wheelaces.
These are bluffs with blockers. This is bluffs with comedy,
Yeah, those are very hard to find in game.
right? Well, they're
But
easy
the
to
thing
find,
that's interesting to me
but
is
they're not
look
good.
how much you're calling set money. And you don't care that there's someone behind that can squeeze the
Yeah.
fuck out of you guys.
Yeah, you just go,
Sorry,
great.
YouTube. You're just like set money.
Well, we already say that this is not made for kids. Alright, so there we go.
Ah,
It's. I predict the spades do not get there. Check. Bets out, gets the call. And now lots of pot odds for my 40% equity I have in the hand.
yeah, you're always calling. It's just a really, yeah,
Easy.
just trying to get there.
Uh-oh, that's bad. You bet small,
Always calling.
he's calling,
mean,
he's
Check
gonna
raising
call.
here is maybe a little insane, but I don't hate it. When it gets that size.
Yeah,
Maybe it's crazy. Maybe it's crazy. I don't know about check raising multi-way. I raise my hand.
Yeah.
Check
I mean,
raising multi-way
again-
seems somewhat
yeah,
crazy.
but make your life simple. You've got a marginally made hand.
Look how little equity the open ender has.
Yeah,
King jack suited has. It's all
He's
its
only got
outs. I
four
mean, this
clean
is an
outs. He's only
important
got four
lesson
clean outs.
too.
he not only
Like-
only has 4 clean outs, he literally only has 4 outs.
Yeah, I mean, this is an important lesson in.
Yeah.
How, degraded the value of his OESD is on this double flush draw board.
Right. Now, his king is also an out, but he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
And he gets there at the same time as
And the
this.
straight got there too. Let's see. How
Yep,
much,
that is the non-clean out. I get out of this pot quickly.
let's see what
check.
happens here.
Bet. I fold.
He's not gonna fall to that side.
No, he's gonna raise. No, he just calls.
I
Alright.
call too.
Yep.
Especially because of the back door.
Yep, there we go. And the person who completely should not have been in the hand takes all of those chips. Alright, do another one?
We're playing poker, bad play will be rewarded.
Yes.
Okay, so. I think you're gonna overlimp here.
No.
And, well, you got a poster, right? It's a poster.
Yes. I'm going to squeeze.
So you're gonna squeeze and
It hurt.
Me-
I'm gonna attempt to ISO and it's going to fail.
maybe big blind is going to mistakenly flat. Or maybe you're thinking, maybe he gives you a very small size. And you call,
So there's my,
okay, that seems good.
it's also, you could also limp this. That would be okay. Suited connector in
Yeah, I
position.
think I could do either here.
And maybe limp it more on the button than in the cutoff, because this tends to buy me position. And sometimes they fold, like that. But then this happens.
So that's a pretty, so you're deep. I think what you're saying to yourself now. And I
I'm
think
deep.
I think this is a call. Look at your stack depth.
Yes,
So your stack depth and what is really not that big a squeeze and playing in position, I would call here too.
yeah, I haven't lost.
This is a
here
call and see
before.
what happens. You kind of brick. He checks.
I'm not gonna bet this.
Yeah, his range is really strong.
I'm gonna pick up a diamond on the turn is what's gonna happen. Or a 4. I'm gonna pick up the 5.
Kinda hard not to fold here. I think I call one.
Yeah, he has lots of ace, king. He has lots of ace, queen here. He has king, queen here. Yes, he also has 9s and 8s, pocket 9s, pocket 10s here, and slow play jacks. He has all those things. But I don't think I've lost enough money yet. For a check river.
Oh, well, oh, yeah, well,
Well, it doesn't cost me anything. The
yeah,
jack, not
you
two
are
pair.
aware that you're counterfeited by his overpair.
Yeah, I'm gonna fold now.
Okay.
Yeah. So. That was an enjoyable,
An enjoyable nightmare.
an enjoyable 35 big blinds, 30,
Huh.
50, 75, 37 and a half big blinds for me.
Did you, uh. Did you filter for hands you lose or it just happens?
Oh, you didn't hear this? No. What I did was this. I took I took 10,000 hands. I filtered for hands that I played to the river,
Uh-huh,
and they had to have bets on the river. Because, I said, either I call the river, or I fold the river, one of the two.
okay,
But that's what has to happen on the river. And then it just turns out that every one of them was losing.
okay.
Yeah, I thought about, because it was Memorial Day, I thought about just finding the biggest pots that I lost and go, let's just look at all the biggest pots I lost.
Mhm.
And see how badly I played in them and what we could do better. But instead I just did this, and when I looked at it, I went, that's pretty good for Memorial Day.
So I'm
There we
trying to figure out, where's Hero? Here he is.
Um,
So Hero's gonna RFI.
Yeah.
Should fold to you. Queen ten, I think, is mixed, but it's super,
in the hijack, it's thin. It's really thin.
yeah, it's super thin.
Yeah.
I assume it
But
folds.
3-3 is never folding. Look
Maybe
at him.
queen ten limps. He's a broken stack.
He might, but this guy's definitely, but,
Yeah,
Going-
that guy's gonna play no
yeah.
matter what.
yeah, so it's just I raise. He calls. King 5 is gonna fold like a good person. He checks.
Alright, so I would, if I would bet small here, I would take a B2.
Yep, those are my hands. He calls. 5. Check.
Yeah, it's a tough situation.
Yep, I'm done. Yep, I'm just done, and then this happens. Cause why wouldn't it? Luckily,
I don't know what he's expecting to get called by, but whatever.
a jack.
Maybe.
And he bets too big for a jack, thinking maybe thinking a jack thinking you wouldn't bet that big.
Yeah.
But I have no queens here. And I have
No.
plenty of jacks, and I have plenty of pocket pairs.
stronger jack, you should bet yourself. Like king jack is jack, maybe even jack 10. Like you have only like jack 7, jack 8.
So you were saying I shouldn't bet them?
No, it's jack and king jack is betting turn as well.
Yeah.
Like now you bet again versus like eights and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Might, but I would also check back some jacks.
But like weaker ones, stronger ones you want to well bet versus weaker jacks.
Yeah. Sure, that works. Yep, but that happened instead. All right. You're up, Arthur. This may be our last hand.
Okay, small blind race.
Yep.
I don't know,
Yep.
show me their limps, it never folds.
There we go.
Button fold.
Button did the raise with a 9-8. That is out of range, but not. No, it's
Yeah.
not. No, 9-8 is there. 9-8 is a sliver there. 10-8, and I'll show it to you. It's there. There is the beautiful button and the beautiful 9-8. There's its sliver.
Okay,
I don't play that sliver, but it's there. I know that one. Okay, so he does. Ace
small
5
blind
off,
folds.
just fold.
We
Good.
call.
Yep, never defend, never fold queen 10 here against the button. And how often do I raise it? This is a never raise against, oh no,
We
wait a minute.
need
Button, that's
suited.
not true. Against the button, the queen 10 is half the time. 50% raise, and I'm not on my 50% hand. So here it is.
Alright.
There's the raise. There's your queen 10. There's your 44.5% raise. Yeah, that's my
No, but
problem.
like, okay. But like if you are deeper, you cannot raise, I think. Offset
Yeah,
hand.
that makes sense. That's probably true. I don't have a deeper sim,
Yeah, I understand.
but yeah, you wouldn't want to raise it. And this particular combo for tracking purposes is not a raise for me.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Maybe
Sure.
I'm gonna hand. So this is an easy check.
Check
You
as
choose
well.
bet
But we
small.
bet.
I can 3-bet this, and I can also at queen 10, I can also just call it. I can start
No,
my
you mostly call. You mostly call. You need like stronger, like king queen, maybe queen jack.
yeah, that's what I was thinking is king, queen, jack, would be the ones to do first. So I do. The ace. Now my life is simple. Check. He decides he wants to win. And I don't think I've lost enough money yet.
Bang.
And it's 4:15. Thank you guys so much for the session. And let's see how much, I don't think I'm gonna lose that much more. How small does, oh, I blocker. That's what happens. So I go in with saying, I have the 8. I can get to showdown here against that. He says, no, I have the 8 and I fold. There we go.
But
Is
like,
this-
GG, Scotty, GG.
Is it, except for the block, this block at the end, let's see it. Let's see how mental this block is at the end. I think that, I don't know that that's a thing.
that's not a thing. You
Yeah,
can do
let's-
it with like ace-7 of clubs, but not queen
Yeah.
jack.
Let's put this one in solver for that. If I had just
Sure.
checked, I'd be fine, but let's.
Like when he bombs the river, like you have like a bluff catcher, literally, because he reps like ace or better. So
Yeah.
now you well better sell basically and fold out all bluffs.
Yeah, I managed to do this. The thing that this does for me, and I don't think that this is a good thing to do. But when he has an ace here, he really can't raise me. He's gonna call the 8 and win. And I'm gonna see the river for 8. When he has an ace here and I check, he might bet 16 or 23, and I might consider bluff catching him with my second pair. And if I'm going to do that, so what I do by this is I eliminate his bluffs, which is bad, but I get to the river cheap. And it's probably better to not eliminate his bluffs. It's probably better to play poker than to try to not.
It's
than-
better to check fold than block bet. Like when you block bet, I don't know what you're doing, like because it's like losing play. Like out of plus EV hand, you made it minus EV, basically, every
Yep.
time.
Alright, guys, wanna take a look?
Yes, I want to watch me take a plus EV hand and make it minus EV.
Yeah, I need you to stop sharing, sir.
I'm going to.
Alright. So. We have no dunking on his texture,
And I didn't.
and he bet small, correct?
Yes.
What's he supposed to do with his second pair? Very kicker driven.
Yeah.
He bet small?
We always want to, like, when we, on these spots, we always want to cooler lower pairs, like king jack as well spot. We valbet versus jack 9, jack 10. We want to cooler, like, lower second pair.
Are you talking about out of
cooler,
position
but-
player or in position player?
We are out of position.
Yeah, I was just curious. So Arthur, we want to cool, who wants to cooler who? Out of
Not
position wants to
cooler,
cooler,
but
in
like we
position?
valbet. When we valbet, we want to valbet versus weaker pairs, like weaker kicker. So we bet only best, like ace king, like in this example, king 8, ace 8, and in previous board was queen jack, queen jack deuce board. We still bet like ace jack and king jack, and
Right.
because we're hoping to get called by jack 9.
Okay, so you don't, so you do have check raises, but you have to, just what you're talking about, kickers.
Yep.
Your only
so I'm-
check raise really is with the very best kicker here.
So this-
What about, I'm just curious here. What about your? Against a small size, what about your draws? You've got a. Yeah, you're raising. Quite a bit, you're raising like what? 30%, 34%
lots of
with all your draws, right? Like, so
lots of gut shots.
king flush, your flush draw, your king high flush draws really wanna generate. A fold more than your best ace flush draws.
Yeah.
So a lot from here. These are like combo draws and you're check raising pure with your combo draws here. 10-9, all these gut shots in a flush draw,
Mhm.
really love to check raise here. Which is important to see.
Yeah.
Cause I sometimes think these have so much equity, I don't wanna check raise,
Mhm.
but that's clearly not the fact. The
Yeah.
case in solver land.
If you click strategy plus EV, it's like the same EV. Middle left, or like top left. Yeah.
What is, check raising?
No, like click strategy.
Check-
Do you
check-
see like
check.
strategy?
Yeah, but I'm asking, what are you saying is the same E EV?
Yeah, click. Click. Yeah, now you click on jack 9. It's like same EV raising and calling.
That's what he's-
4.74 and
Okay, cool, good point.
yeah. So trying to realize is fine, and making it happen is fine. Both get the same.
Yeah,
amount of
I mean, I think it probably prefers the check raise here with these combos.
Yep.
As a strategy, because we really like to generate folds, right? We have jack high. So that's why it's check raising at a higher frequency than it is calling. So we call with a queen 10, well played.
Arthur, to know the way that you knew that those were the same EV, was it that you had studied spots like this? Is that how you knew, or did you figure it out somehow with a shorthand?
it's always the same. It's I don't know. I just know.
Okay.
It's always
Okay,
the same. And then you watch 1000
for-
spots. You
Oh, I
figure
know.
it out.
Right. I just realized how we know it's the same, because it mixes between the two.
No, not necessarily. Even like, but yeah, that's also.
Okay. So anyway, the ace comes, we check.
and he chooses big bet, right?
I think so. His size was on the turn 7. Yeah, he's 75%.
So he really likes to polarize here.
Yeah.
He's polarizing more than anything. Like the over bet, but we'll give him what happened in game.
His particular hand, he does.
Oh, wow. He's
Yep,
not betting. He isn't betting a single queen X. Only like ace or better.
So, you know, as we say, second pair, under pair, second pair, third pair, which is what he has now.
Yeah.
He's really not turning it into a bluff at this point. He's got showdown. I mean, solver's not often turning showdown into a bluff. And if it is turning showdown into a bluff, I think it's more on river.
Well, look at it. It's his ace seven and ace six, but those are, he does do it with ace seven, eight, seven, and eight, six some. So he
Yeah,
does do that.
true.
He just doesn't do the nine, eight.
True.
And he's nine, eight offsuit that,
So he polarized. What are we doing with our top pair? Top pair is not folding, obviously, with this
Yep.
side. Second pair is not folding either. So
not much.
it looks
Queen-
like our
queen- get
threshold,
over-
our fold third.
Yeah.
Sure. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just roll over the queen ten so we see our suits while you talk. Queen ten offsuit. Is that us? Yeah, queen ten off. All right.
Okay, so we call.
Prefers a spade, doesn't require a spade. We're fine.
The bastard got the eight of clubs on
A river,
the. Now the question becomes, do we dunk on this card? I think you might have dunks.
Yeah, but not with a queen.
not mine.
Very little, but you do have dunks.
Shitty queen.
But your top pair are just gonna,
Yeah.
or sorry, your second pair are going to,
We donk a little bit of queen four and queen three.
Oh, look at how much we lose with our bet. Like strategically saving them later.
When we make the bet, how much it's a loss?
Yeah, that must be huge.
it's pretty close. It's the same. I think this, but it's the same EV pretty much for a
Okay.
blocker bet.
It's actually, I actually gained 0.1, 0.01, 0.33. I feel better about my mistake now.
So, yeah, we just don't really have to, I don't think we have Docker bets
Now,
in theory. Because of his polarizing betting line.
Yep.
Well, Scotty, thank you very much for the session. Hey, I
Thank
have
you,
an
guys.
idea. Let's
Yep.
study poker some more tomorrow.
right, tomorrow we do the same thing, Arthur, we do it 2 hours earlier, so 9:15 Pacific time, 12:15 Eastern time. If you wanna come, more stuff, slightly different stuff, but that's what we do. See you
Mhm.
tomorrow.
Okay.
All
see
right,
you.
thanks again, Scotty. I appreciate it. Talk to you guys tomorrow.